your own belief system to maybe rebrand as like a anti-cancel culture
Fuck
guy?
no.
Do a
Hell no,
right-wing pivot?
bruh. No, dude, that's like the worst thing you can do. No, but like real shit, and I've never said this on a podcast. Well, 1 week after getting canceled, I got a job offer from InfoWars.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, it's funny, like people always say,
Good thing you didn't take it. They're not doing so well now.
right? But people always say, like, when you get canceled, like your career's over.
Mm,
No, it's the opportunity to begin a second career
right.
in like that sort of like free speech warrior space with like Russell Brand in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that because I'm not aligned with them in the way they talk and think about things.
Trump's approach to people not liking data centers is the same as his approach to women that he gropes in department stores who tell him no. Just let it happen. At a press conference where he was talking about data centers, how he promised the American people that he would keep these data centers accountable for their own energy and water usage, which we know is horseshit because these data centers have been costing people tons of extra money. They've been causing water and energy shortages everywhere. Two reports that recently came out a few weeks ago saying that these data centers next year are going to cause massive blackouts for the American people on a regular basis. His response was, "You can't fight it, you just have to go with it." And the increasing opposition to these data centers is on both sides of the political spectrum. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or on the right. In fact, there were people on the news in Texas who said their entire community is going to vote for Democrats because they're so pissed about these data centers in their backyards. But Donald Trump's entire message was stop fighting it and just take it. Suck it up, loser. This kind of reminds me of when the Heritage Foundation came out with Project 2025, and they said we had no choice but to comply with it. And in the last years, we've been telling them to go fuck themselves. They've been able to implement less than half of their entire agenda. The fact that Donald Trump is even bothering to get up in front of the press and tell people you cannot fight this, so you're gonna have to take it, it means he knows that people are fighting back and it's working. Otherwise, he wouldn't have to say anything. And of course, Donald Trump is used to getting his way among his sycophants. He thinks that his word is law. But millions of people across the country are saying they do not want this. And the only way AI actually works is if the people surrender to it. And that is not what they're doing. Because it's well past the jobs that AI is taking and the water usage. Because now they're telling everyday American citizens, turn off their electricity so the data centers can have theirs.
So, I mean, welcome everybody. Welcome Morgan. Welcome.
Hey.
It does seem like the Democrats have a pretty clear mandate, almost, if you will. For like how do you win in these elections coming up? The next elections, how do you win? Well, be anti-data center.
Yep.
Be pro healthcare. Be pro democracy, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
Well, that's not going to go well with Gavin Newsom, who I've been assured by people is already the Democratic nominee, and we don't need to have a primary. Even though he's pro all of those things that everyone hates.
See, I'm of the opinion that even if I agreed with that I wanted Gavin Newsom as a candidate, which I don't, I hope he's not. I will wrestle with the choice, but ultimately, obviously, I will probably make the choice to vote for the motherfucker if that's what happens.
Democratic primary voters, I'm begging you, do not make me vote for Gavin Newsom.
But like, if you were confident in your candidate, wouldn't you want him to prove that he's the best one, that more people, that he's capable of even going to the fucking general and winning? Because if you don't have a primary, you got no test. You just have a few people on the internet saying that, hey, he's the guy.
Well, and on the news and stuff, and all those things.
I mean, I just feel like you should want that kind of a spar, if you want to put it that way, of the primary in your belt. I don't know.
You would like, and I think a lot of people who, a lot of like moderates and independents didn't want to vote for Kamala specifically because there was no primary, right? That's a pretty common, a common talking point.
No, so that's the point. Chuds don't. Nobody likes data centers. Like
nobody likes data centers. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's even some of these fucking pro AI motherfuckers and stuff that are still like, well, I don't know, I don't want a fucking data center. Nobody wants them around them. That's for sure.
Well, and it's one of those things that, as a data center engineer,
it's fucking hot.
All of these AI data centers have ruined the data center industry. Like they are. Generally have made everything more expensive. Everything is harder to get.
We need to do, we should do an episode on data centers and stuff, or something, just some kind of special focus on it at some point, because there's a lot of shit that goes into it, a lot of ins and outs, a lot of what have yous, and then there's also a lot of negatives that are worth discussing.
Yeah.
So one thing, we're going to be talking a little bit about cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But
a lot of cyberpunk.
Now I'm realizing that you know, in the cyberpunk media that we've all seen, that there's like there's usually lots of just like kind of drab, like kind of nondescript buildings just everywhere. You know what I mean?
Like a data center?
Data centers. I realized that. Data
Yeah.
center. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I
I mean, Sarah Connor was sent to a mental health institution
for blowing
after
up
being convicted of trying to blowing up data centers.
Wow.
Yeah.
The prophecy.
Yeah, look, I mean, they are absolutely, and they exist as right now. They've been existing for years. There's lots of them. What we're talking about are data centers that require far more resources to operate and require and put out far more, emissions and heat and fucking noise. Like there's people that are saying that the noise from these things around their homes is like they're not able to sleep. I saw something about a lawsuit where this one community has literally just like it's just nonstop fucking noise from these data centers, and of course they don't tell you that whenever they're going to put them in. Of course they don't really ask for consent generally. So
to put it in perspective, my employer is a medium-sized employer. I am responsible for 3 data centers across the country that I travel to.
Blow them up, Morgan.
Combined in terms of their power load across 3 data centers is about 200 kilowatts. These data centers they're building are multiple megawatts. So think about the difference between like a kilobyte and a megabyte. And they're even talking about like in the future gigawatt data centers. Like we're talking exponentially more just for AI training.
How many gigawatts did it take to run the DeLorean to go through time? Is like 1.
It was gigawatts, but yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
1.68 gigawatts.
Yep.
So for time travel, that's what it requires. If that's
right. So yeah, AI data centers are less efficient than time travel, is what we've established here.
Love it.
That's canon. That's literally canon.
You know what else is canon is isn't the best thing to do with data centers is to like put them in the middle of the desert for
no.
I mean, you think, but like that means they're not centralized to where they would need to be theoretically, and they're also going to be harder to keep cool, I'd imagine.
Yes. So
I was going to say the best thing to do is not build the fucking things.
That's the best thing to do. That's the best thing. Actually, I heard another proposal that I think is pretty legit. We should kind of see if we maybe float this to them. So they need water to cool down the systems that creates a lot of heat. It doesn't have to be potable water.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't have what? No, it can be. Why don't just run with me? Work with me here.
Okay.
It should just be piss. We should just give them our piss. They can use piss.
They're pissing on us. We should piss on them. Is that
give them all the piss they need? Okay. We'll just send it to them. Like big jars.
Does it even have to be water? There are other ways of cooling things. Water just seems to me like just the cheapest way.
So water is the cheapest and most efficient way.
Okay.
Water is a good medium for heat, and things like Freon and other cooling agents that are replacing Freon are more expensive, rarer, and also still kind of not as effective as water.
Yes, they are chock full of copper. So meth heads, crackheads, you know what to do.
You know what to do, yeah.
Do it for your country.
Together strong.
It's one of those things that like the people hear data center think, oh yeah, the whole world runs on data centers. Yes, but the scale and scope of the data centers people are now concerned about versus the data center infrastructures we have that run the rest of the economy for a planet is literally apples and oranges.
I will say this: if the government knocks on the door of your house and they say, hey, we need this land where your house is.
Yeah.
If any of you are fortunate enough to own a home or land, say no. And then they're going to offer you money right out of the gate because they have to. But then if you can also just say no, and they can't do anything about it except so far, I've been listening to something about this the other day. So far with this instance of, especially in Georgia right now, if you just say no, they'll offer you like twice as much next time. And that's the thing. You can choose to do what you're going to do there. It's not like you're going to stop the data center, grift if you are staying in the way. But we're just saying, don't take the first offer that they give you.
Right. Never take your first offer on eminent domain. Because eventually, especially in a state like Georgia right now, they're going to get your house because the state will use eminent domain to get your house.
Yep.
But make them work for it.
Make them work, make them pay a little bit, make them shell out some money, because they would love, when you think about the kind of money that they're going to, oh man, it's so fucking infuriating. Every angle of this shit is fucking infuriating. And I don't know, from the scraping of information, data, content, to the fucking quality, if you want to call it that, of the output of the bullshit that you're making, to the chat bots that people are falling in love with and getting into a cult following, and like killing themselves, killing other people. It's fucking infuriating, and it's to the point where like this almost seems like it almost seems like those things that they're kind of painting as the outliers are the goal with some of this stuff. Like they're wanting to. I mean, obviously it's a little bit paranoid of me, but
it's a marketing thing, right? Is that the chatbot models are trained and programmed to keep you using. And so if the algorithm, determines that the best way to do that is to feed you bullshit, especially as like Google's model is now doesn't lose data on you, doesn't forget the conversation like other chatbots are. So it will learn how to manipulate you as a marketing tactic effectively. And if the best way the program concludes to sell you more tokens is to make you think you're a god or whatever, then it will do that.
Speaking of which, before we move on to movie stuff and all the fun stuff, we're going to get into the fun stuff. Trust us.
I'm glad.
But
I don't want to talk about work. I'm off of work.
I did happen to have this video. This is another one from I forget his name. It's something in Spanish because he's a Spaniard. But he's like an incredible drummer, and he's really going hard against Suno in particular, the music AI app, the one where the executive was like on a podcast and he said, people, it's just so hard to make music. Nobody likes doing it. It's just, he literally, and it's like, you clearly have never made music, and because yes, it is fucking hard. It can be frustrating. It can be fucking maddening making music. Yes, but I don't think I've ever thought, I don't want to make music. I just want to have the result of music.
Right. I don't paint minis because I'm good at it. I paint minis because I like painting minis. Yeah.
Well, so he's got this campaign he's doing. He used to sell shirts on his this YouTuber. He's huge, got millions and millions of subscribers. Just blown up whenever he started doing drum videos several years ago. He just blew up instantly. He's incredible. But like he used to sell shirts that said drum and bass, and then it would have the D and the B kind of marked out, so it said rum and ass. But now he said he's not selling those anymore. He's selling these new shirts. You'll see it.
Major actors left.
Oh, wrong thing. My bad.
Uh-oh.
This guy right here,
it's not really enjoyable to make music now.
And his company stole all the music that humanity ever produced by bypassing the copyright laws of all the streaming platforms. I'm not talking shit. They admitted to it on court and nothing happened. Well, they built a company called that's actually worth $5.4 billion. A lot of money. And people got mad.
He does do a pretty cute little error here. I guess they maybe don't have the Atlantic in Spain, like as far as the journalism outlet, the Atlantic.
Sure, yeah.
So whenever he encounters it, he thinks, you'll see, but it's pretty fun.
Okay.
And you see, the good thing about people getting mad is that they organize. So some good folks decided to create a database called The Atlantic, where you can actually check which companies have used your art without your...
So I'm guessing that I don't know if they're associated with The Atlantic or if they just posted it there or whatever it is. But I mean, I don't think it's just The Atlantic is... I don't know. But
I don't know.
Look into that for sure.
your consent in order to train their generative models, not only for music, but also for video, graphics, and all sorts of things, right? So every single musician ran to the website and checked if they were stealing their music, and of course they actually did, which is f***ed up, but at least now you can take legal action. But since this website includes all the generative AI tools, I thought to myself, instead of checking with my band's name, I should check with my content creator name. So I looked it up, El Estepario Siberiano, and apparently a company named Runway Gen 3 has stolen 572 of my videos, just so that people can do this.
Oh, it's so gross.
Cute. Now that pisses me off. Long format music video.
So he goes on to because I feel like my shit's kind of choppy for some reason, but he goes on to break it down in a way that I never would have thought to, but it makes sense. So he's like, you know, you can stop with just looking at how much money those videos earn on YouTube. He can look at that and then you can say, so they've technically stolen, you know, around about this amount of money from me, right? But then the way he does his videos typically, because he'll do like covers of songs and stuff, and he says he takes like usually a week to practice several hours a day to make sure that he's got the cover just like, you know, as best as he can do it before he films it on a Sunday. But he hires a video camera guy, he hires a sound guy, and he hires an editor every single time. And then so he's like, you know, adds up the money that he's spending on that just to make a video. And so they're technically stealing from that much from him too. And it's like, holy shit, it's pretty fucking gross.
These people are the worst. AI people are the biggest thieves and pirates. Like think of everything, you know, the recording industry and the movie industry and the TV industry did over decades about piracy. Yeah. And now
it's so fucking nakedly like, oh, so you were always just full of shit. You were just mad that like we figured out a little hack with getting movies for, you know.
Oh yeah. And when it turns out, like, you know, some market research was done, we were actually spending more money on stuff because that's how you sell concert tickets, it turns out, and all of those fun things. So
my son was watching something on some Blu-ray or DVD not long ago that's like from the, I guess, the early mid 2000s. I forget what he was watching, but every single time he put in a new disc, it would have one of those, you know, you wouldn't steal a car,
right?
And he kept kind of making fun of that, and I was like, well, I said,
fuck
what
yeah,
do you
kid.
think about that? I was kind of, I didn't want to like give him the perspective that I have, but I wanted to kind of see if he could get it. So I was like, do you think that's the same thing? And he's like, stealing a car? And I was like, yeah, or like a purse, or like, you know, a movie off the internet. And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, cool.
Good job. All right, you passed.
Yep. And then, of course, I did tell him that, like, you know, when we're talking about something like that, there's no immediate, you're not taking literally the object, the product from another person, which you would be doing with a car or a purse. But, you know, there is other things to consider, like the creators, and if there's an effect on creators who do not make a whole lot of money in many cases, you know, that's a reason to just support the thing as much as possible.
Well, and I think in the age, as we move more and more into a renter's economy, I think the maxim, if you can't own it, you can't steal it, is worth keeping in mind.
Indeed. All right, well, let's start with this news. Made a little compilation video of the timeline of this saga, the saga of the Gauze Rider.
The
Gauze Rider
dipped his toe in Marvel or DC.
Been wanting to do one, you know, it's always like, it's like, what one?
Sure.
I always thought that Ghost Rider was the coolest.
Sure.
But I always thought it was taken. But I don't know what the waiting time is on that.
What do you mean?
Well, like, how long, you know, does it have to go? Ava has already given me her blessing.
Sure.
I just need
I know he's right down the
fans,
hall, but
Nick Cage.
Ryan, you know I'm always trying to get you work. You told me Ghost Rider was the character you wanted to play. I spoke to Kevin Feige. You know this. You saw this. Did I help you out?
This
What
was
happened?
a magical moment. I told
You
Josh I'd
did?
like to play Ghost Rider.
You spoke to Kevin Feige and then...
He found Kevin Feige, corners him, does an interview with him. When he says, I would like this, all the lights go off.
Ryan's amazing. I'd love to find a place for him in the MCU.
That's the
So I like Emily Blunt, you know, other than the fact that she's married to, what's his name, who's kind of a dick snot. Yeah. But it's kind of wild here. Like, you see their elitism, the actor elitism against superhero movies here.
Yeah.
She's like, seems offended that he actually wants to do a superhero movie.
Power of Feige.
or the power of Horowitz.
No, I have no power.
The combined power was just.
So, any movement? Have I made any
Nuclear.
magic happen?
Do you remember, Josh, when you asked me about Ryan being in a superhero, and I said no,
He would
Ryan,
never do it.
he would never do it.
You did. You said
Yeah, I
Josh
said-
Horowitz asked me, and I told him you would never do
I
it.
said he'd
I was
never
like, I'd
do
love to. Are
it.
you crazy?
Right, you don't
I
even know your
I was
friend
like,
here.
I thought we wore it as a badge of honor that we weren't into superhero movies.
No, you do.
I know. I really thought. I don't know why. I just thought, well, Gosling's with me.
Come be in Ghost
What
Rider.
a turncoat.
Wow.
Ghost Rider.
You don't even know each other.
There it is. Look, I'm a fan of Ryan Gosling. I'm not even saying that. I think he's fantastic. He's probably one of the, I mean, maybe the most well-rounded performers in Hollywood these days. As far as like, I mean, he can do everything.
He's got a lot of range for sure.
You can do very serious, dramatic stuff. You know, then you can do comedy. If you haven't seen The Nice Guys, fucking watch The Nice Guys. He's hilarious in that shit. Yeah, and then also obviously sing and all that other stuff that I don't really care for, but it's, you know, good to know he can do it.
Yeah.
I don't like singers, you know. No, I don't like musicals, is what it is.
So my question is, which Ghost Rider will he be? Obviously not Robbie Reyes.
Right. Which is kind of funny because when I was looking around on Google for images, there's a lot of people that are just grabbing whichever Ghost
The
Rider
most recent Ghost Rider, yeah.
I want to say that I hope that he's going to be my Ghost Rider, the one that's always been the first one I think of because he was the one whenever I got into comics, Dan Ketch.
Sure.
And then that way you could let, you know, maybe even have Nick Cage be, you know, still be fucking whatever.
Ghost Rider, yeah, you could.
Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
I think that's
I mean,
the most kind of obvious answer for the solution for them to do, right? But
yeah, I don't hate that. I would actually like them to, like, you know, if this gets a sequel or whatever, to bring Robbie in, because I do think that he was the both the character and the actor who played him in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, which for a hot second was part of the MCU in theory, was really good. Like, he was good in it. The show was kind of whatever, but the Ghost Rider arc was pretty awesome.
the Ghost Rider part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like I mean, they were trying to make it a bit of a backdoor pilot, and I don't know why. I think there was probably the rights reverting that basically ended up, they changed their mind basically on what they wanted to do with Ghost Rider, I think, behind the scenes. But initially, I believe the plan was to introduce them on this and, you know, do a really good job of it, which they did.
They did, yeah.
And then people will be excited for a show that they would spin off. Didn't happen. So people are saying that you've seen him talk about Johnny Blaze. I haven't heard him say Johnny Blaze specifically, but I don't know. You know, if it is, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll
you
live.
know, it would be cool to. I feel like it's kind of obvious anyway because that was the '90s one. That was the one that kind of got popular. It's kind of bizarre to me actually that they wouldn't consider that. You know what I mean? Since you know, they obviously know their bread and butter comes from the '90s comics, Marvel for the most part.
Who was Ultimate Ghost Rider?
I don't remember who Ultimate Ghost Rider was.
Because someone reminded me the other day, and I can't remember who.
Oh, it was somebody weird. Because yeah, I did read that actually. Let me see if I can find it.
Because so much of the MCU originally was drawn from the Ultimates, like the style and, you know, some of the character interpretation.
So it was John Blaze apparently.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought it was like another character that was like a kind of a random, like, oh, that's the Ghost Rider here. But I guess I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, the bad news for all of the true fans out there is that Ryan Gosling now cannot play Black Panther.
Yes.
Oh no.
Which is why this podcast is going to be advocating. Sadly, yes, I know y'all are heartbroken about this. All the chuds that have been calling for it, you know,
They've really wanted Ryan Gosling to be T'Challa.
But you know, I think whenever I think there's this in Chinese, there's one word for opportunity and crisis. I think is something that I read on the toilet one time.
So, I believe that.
So I think that in this, you know, because he can't be Black Panther anymore, obviously, because he can't be two characters. But I think the opportunity that opens up here is this one.
Now, Nick Cage, like he's an older gentleman, so he brings a distinguished air, a regal persona, you know, to a regal ambiance to the role, a kingly energy, you might say, that I think makes him the perfect choice to play the next part.
Is somebody going to try and tell us that he doesn't have the chops? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
you can just
gosh, Kevin, you want me to play T'Challa?
See, I think, you know, the Chuds are going to be mad that it can't be Ryan Gosling, but I do feel like Black Panther should be a character that has some representation. And I know they don't want it to be a black person because they're really upset about black people.
Okay.
So maybe we could have Elliot Page. He's white, right?
Honestly, legit. Yeah, and he's also like, and not even saying this as a joke or to be ironic or anything, exudes masculinity compared to a lot of these fucking chuds.
Yeah, he is certainly more masculinity than any chud with a YouTube channel.
And just as an aside, the average height of Greek warriors in the Bronze Age was about 5'5" tall. So that would make his casting in the Odyssey one of the most historically accurate elements of that
movie. Yeah.
So he's already got that, you know, under his belt too. So I don't know. I think he's a little too young.
Okay, fair enough.
The role of a king, like we need to see a seasoned T'Challa, right? Not the new. They've already done the story where he's the young prince who becomes the king and has to take on the burden of kingship and reconcile being a good man with having power. We need to see a story about a man who's been a king for a long time, and he's kind of burned out on it, and he finds his magic again through some adventure. So I say Nick Cage over Elliot Page. As good as Elliot Page is,
okay, all
he
right.
has many more years ahead of him to take up the mantle, and Nick Cage is kind of in his twilight of his career. So let's let him go out on a bang.
Sure.
I just had a whole like imaginary thing, and while y'all are talking about that just it made me really, really happy seeing this. So Frank Castle. Now imagine John Bernthal, Frank Castle. Just imagine if they had the balls to do this. Marvel, you don't have the balls to do this. So maybe Frank dies in Spider-Man Brand New Day or whatever. Maybe then what next thing he's in, something like that. And maybe first you do the Frankencastle story arc.
Oh
right?
yeah, I would legit be down.
But then after that, then the follow-up could be Cosmic Ghost Rider. John Bernthal the whole fucking way through. I know he probably wouldn't do it. He probably would scoff at the idea. But yeah, man, that'd be fucking crazy.
I'm honestly hoping that a Ghost Rider movie means that we are getting a Midnight Suns movie at some, maybe not a movie, but the Midnight Suns.
I think so. Based on how this came about, I think it's just going to happen because you can find. I was looking through, the history of this whole thing because I didn't know that he even said that until I actually saw that randomly the other day, like before the announcement. And then there's the announcement yesterday. I was like, "Whoa, that's fucking crazy timing." That he had at one point said that he wanted to be Ghost Rider. And then I saw where Oscar Isaac at least one point said, "Do it, Marvel. It's obvious. Just do it." Talking about Midnight Suns. Oscar Isaac being, Moon Knight. And yeah, so I mean, I think that you already got two name actors that are excited about doing it. They want to do it.
Yeah.
It just seems like a no-brainer.
And they've already introduced multiple characters who have been or could be, at least in the live action version, great members of the roster. Like
who are we missing from the Defenders? Because I think we have everyone now from the original Defenders lineup, right? We have Hulk, Namor.
Yep. Silver
we
Surfer.
Have Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer. Well, we have a Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
So can we do?
But in the MCU, as far as Midnight Suns goes, we've already got Doctor Strange, Man-Thing, Moon Knight, Elsa Bloodstone, and now Ghost Rider, and maybe Blade.
Bring Ryan Reynolds back as what was his name? Hannibal, whatever.
Oh no, no.
Which was basically just Deadpool.
Yeah. Hannibal King. Yeah.
That's it. That's the closest we've gotten so far. But I mean, yeah, I do feel like this is a bit of a consolation prize for them just biffing Blade. And I do believe that's. I mean, obviously, ultimately, it's the studio's fault. But I think that maybe Mahershala Ali was a little bit too wrapped up in it, in the same way that Edward Norton did with his Hulk movie, and that's what the issue might have been. Based on
Yeah, like I mean, it's been a while since we've had an incident like that, so I feel like we were due.
Sure. Well, I mean, they fucked it up because he literally called them, and I think they just, you just won an Oscar, and you decided the first thing you want to do is call us and tell us yes, of course, So then you tell a newly minted Oscar winner who's as talented as Mahershala Ali that yeah, it's yours, plays yours. Then kind of give him a little bit of license to carry the flame, so to speak. Sorry.
You either have to let him do it or not, right? You had to either let him do whatever the fuck he wants to do, or like set ground rules right away, and they kind of got wishy-washy on it.
From what I've read, they kept turning in scripts that made him that essentially sidelined him for his daughter character.
See, that may be true. Is there probably a lot of this is true, but the thing that I saw was aside from that is that he kept wanting to choose the director, and they were like, we basically don't have confidence, or we don't have faith in those directors, So they tried to meet him halfway in a couple of examples and whatnot. Bo DeMaio wrote this part of the screenplay or one of the screenplays, So I'm sure it was great. Because I mean, look, the guy can write a good show.
Yeah, the guy's a piece of shit, but
he's a huge. I saw his fucking YouTube channel pop up in my recommendation the other day, and I'm like, really?
He's a YouTube channel? He's fallen that far,
obvious.
Huh?
It's not as obvious.
Morgan, everyone except you has a YouTube channel.
Oh, is that how that works? Okay. I'm glad to be the last human on Earth without a YouTube channel. That just makes me happy.
Yeah, Agatha, holy shit, that'd be really good.
Oh yeah, shit, you're right.
Yeah, and they've Wiccan is in the MCU now. Like, there's tons of supernatural characters they could. Scarlet Witch, if they bring her back, tons of them could be in a Midnight Suns project.
And I think
even
that
if
they are
not part of the roster in the comics. They still fit the theme of like the supernatural side.
It seems pretty obvious that one of the ways that they are going forward to, hopefully, reinsert themselves as Marvel, right, is to, do because I also saw that they are now there was going to be a Nova show, and now they have said fuck that, Nova's going to be a movie again.
I think what we've learned the last few years is they just need to do movies.
Yeah, for the most part. And maybe Wonder Man, I think, was a good example of like they need to be able to determine based on the material and what's what they come up with, like what its best format would be, right? Like instead of announcing before they even start working on the thing,
right?
Like
I think what. Go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say it's very telling that their Hall H announcement this year wasn't anything more than Secret Wars, Black Panther 3, and Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
They're being more conservative in their projections of what they're going to do, which maybe I think is a good thing because they're managing expectations.
And I also think that, like, as fans, we all know X-Men is coming, but you have a minimum of 2 Avengers movies in between then and now, and you don't want to burn your hype.
Yeah, you gotta. They've realized now that the hype is a capital that you can spend all of.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, they have been openly saying that after Secret Wars, the focus of the MCU is going to shift to X-Men stories. They're still going to do other characters, but the X-Men will take center stage.
Quadrants. I think the X-Men, the mutants will be the main thing probably, but like then there's also going to be, I think, the Midnight Suns type of stuff that we were just talking about, and then I think some space stuff as well.
Yeah,
they need to redefine their space stuff because James Gunn he carried that shit, and now he's not there. So they need to find a way to, kind of get us back on board with the space stuff.
And they've confirmed that an X-Men movie is coming, that a Shang-Chi movie is coming.
Oh, good.
But they haven't announced any dates or anything yet. They're actually casting for the X-Men movie right now.
Sure, I would imagine.
Yeah. It's something that I saw a video, I think it was what's his name, Nando or whatever, was talking about the casting of who they're going to get, how they're going to even do Magneto, because of the obvious, we've talked about it before, the problem of the sliding time scale becomes a real problem whenever you're talking about something so fixed in history as the Holocaust, and a character like and he's I think he said Well, what if it's just like his magnetic powers have allow him to just basically, keep him looking young or whatever. And that seems like an easy answer and kind of silly, but it also probably could work.
Yeah,
like
with the right rubber science, it could work. But I think the obvious answer has been staring us in the face for years. Make him a survivor of Sokovia.
That's an option too. But
He'd still be Eastern European. He'd still be.
I just don't think that works because it needs to be a genocide, and Sokovia was just kind of like chosen because it was happened to be something that Ultron didn't choose that because he hated the Sokovian people. That's what I think it has to be, though.
I think that like you're already talking about like mutants, right? Like Magneto is a mutant, that he lives a little longer than a baseline human is just within the realm of normality for mutants, right? That's not even that weird.
I mean, we've already got Wolverine.
Right. There's lots of Wolverine. Mystique is a few hundred years old at this point. Destiny's pretty old.
They could say something like, he could explain that, to Wolverine, even if it comes up, or whoever, like, well, yeah, I've realized over the years that my magnetic abilities allow me a bit of a regeneration as well, or something like that.
Just and slower aging. Yeah. Like it's
I think
they're probably not going to lead with Magneto.
I hope
in
not.
The new X-Men movies. They're going to save him for a couple of movies later.
Unless he's just not a villain yet. And he's like actually more like how he becomes in the show, the X-Men 97, where he's maybe even if they wanted to start out with him and Xavier as friends. Well, no, maybe because I've already done that.
We've already done that. Yeah.
No Magneto.
I just think because of the backstory problem, and because as a cultural icon, the Holocaust is baked into the public perception of who Magneto is.
Yes.
I would argue it doesn't have to be the Holocaust, but they got to figure out a way to get the backstory right. So I don't think they're going to lead with him or with Wolverine as being main characters in an upcoming X-Men film.
Here's what I would start with. Not to bring us back into the political realm of things, but imagine there's like organizations, especially one that exists to, kind of propagandize and massage narratives regarding, the state of Israel and conflate that with the Jewish people themselves. Imagine what they might say to learn that Magneto is no longer a Jewish survivor of the Holocaust in the movies. I'm just saying.
I think that's it. It's too core to his character. I don't know how. And also, you do have the benefit of history. Like, you're going to pick a genocide that's fresher in people's mind to be his origin. Like, and you don't want to pick a fictional one to be like, oh, okay, well, like, oh, you made one up. You couldn't do the Holocaust.
Honestly,
so
considering the world in which we exist and whatnot, that maybe it's maybe kind of responsible to continue making him just to kind of keep that as a in popular consciousness, I suppose.
I don't want them to do what they did with the character in Cap 4, where they just completely removed any reference to Israel or her being Jewish.
Just like the way that they make some characters asexual, like a lot of characters in Marvel apparently are kind of asexual. They kind of a-Israeled.
Yeah, I don't think that's a healthy idea.
Yeah, probably not. But I'm sure they will figure it out, or maybe they already have. But I think that the thing to do, and I've said before, as a Wolverine, as my number one guy fan, I don't even want to see Wolverine in the first movie.
No.
Give other X-Men time to shine.
Yeah.
They're probably I think it's obvious they're going to kill off the Foxmen by the end of Secret Wars.
That would be fucking badass. Honestly, that's the only thing that I would be like, okay.
I'd be like, okay, we're doing this, huh?
Yeah, but this is why they won't do it.
No shot. But
what we have to do as people now is we have to hold the line on this Palestinian genocide that's been happening, and then hopefully maybe in the next reboot or the next reboot after that they can do something like that, because it'll be just such established history that people will think of that in the same way that we think of the Holocaust. The numbers won't be the same, but still,
I mean, there have been other genocides between the Holocaust and now that were relatively famous that could be used, but they don't stick in the public imagination like the Holocaust does.
Right.
No.
So it's gonna they've got to, they're going to have to work something out. And
Yeah.
I don't think they want to start with Magneto.
I don't
Glob
think
Herman solo movie, or I'm out. Marvel, I'm fucking
Oh
out.
fuck yeah, let's go, my man, the Glob.
Just fucking fretting and making some food. That's all I want to see. He's just fretting.
I will say the only good thing to come out of Age of Revelation is like Hunter Killer Glob Herman with the sniper rifle.
That was pretty badass. Oh yeah,
that was pretty badass. And then everything after that, downhill.
Like
just team him up with Strong Guy, and I'm totally in.
Yeah, if we could do the non-sexy X-Men, like
call them the X dorks or something.
No, call them the X-Men, but just like none of the sexy ones. And I love my sexy X-Men. Big sexy X-Men enjoyer.
I sang about him one time. Little callback there to the Wolverine is gay song.
Wolverine is gay. But in all seriousness, I think it would be interesting. They will not do this, but I think it would be interesting to see a Magneto who has his origins like in the Rwandan genocide or the genocide of Muslims that happened in Bosnia and Herzegovina in the 90s. Something like that would be interesting, but those aren't as iconic to people as the Holocaust. So they would have to do not a lot of explaining, but they would have to do some reminding and some updating for people who have been born since those things happened and don't have any cultural memory of them.
I also think if you wanted to modernize his portrayal while still keeping it grounded in the Holocaust, you could cast an actor who is less white, right? There's a lot of non-white Jews that died in the Holocaust.
Yeah, but the issue I think with the Holocaust is the time. It's been almost 100 years since that happened.
Magneto's a mutant. That's fine.
That's what we
right.
started.
If they can establish when they introduce the X-Men in the MCU, if they can do something to establish that mutants just live longer, fine. Maybe that's what they'll go for.
I just think that like there's so many straws in Magneto's character that tie back to that it would be hard to reinvent it and not lose something in the character, right?
Because
it's not just any genocide, right? He is a Jewish man,
and it's a confounding problem because there's the meta stuff, the meta consequences of choosing that too. So like we talked about, there would be people upset for various reasons. You know what I mean? Whereas like keeping them the same, people might just be upset because like Nazis might be upset, but they're always upset.
And there's also a part of his character when he is a villain that he is kind of a eugenicist, right?
Yeah.
Like there is that level of hypocrisy baked into having him be a Holocaust survivor who believes in eugenics.
Well, that's why, that's why
you would lose with some other genocides.
To me, he's always been the perfect, I guess, not villain, but like antagonist, because it literally just can be what he's doing on a given day that defines whether or not he's the hero or the villain.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if he's going around like saving, other mutants and stuff, then he's just doing basically what Xavier's doing. But then he kind of understandably to a degree gets pissed off at some people hurting mutants or whatever and decides to, I don't know, wipe out a town or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I think the problem with a complex character like Magneto is there's a lot of moving on complex parts, and it makes it hard to move where he is placed in history without losing one of those core elements.
Yep.
And I think the character would be less than, because I think like some of the like other versions of Magneto, like the version in 1602, is just kind of not great.
I don't remember that one. What was that one about?
What's that? That's the one where Captain America gets sent back in time to 1602, but there's always like a version of everyone else.
Yeah.
And he's just like some priest.
Oh.
Who hates people. I forget the specifics. I just remember being underwhelmed by it when I read it like 15 years ago.
Yeah, that would kind of just immediately take some of the weight out of his character.
Yeah, like it just like there's so much there that like it's Anyways, we have lots of more fun stuff, and I'm tired of beating up Bob.
Yeah, Bob. You okay, Bob? You gonna be okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I know.
As long as we get Nick Cage to play T'Challa as his final performance.
As God intended. Right.
As God intended. Yeah.
So what else do we have that came out or was announced? What do we got?
Well, we got new Reacher stuff. We got Rings of Power stuff.
Reacher, I hardly know her.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Well, look, there's history for it. You know? Bob, remember? I think I don't know if it was the first time that we streamed together, but it was the first time we really were like, we want to talk about this thing that we don't see anybody else talking about.
Yeah, I believe it was the very first time.
Yeah, I think so.
You and I streamed together, and we talked about how Endymion TV was lying about Alan Ritchen's politics. And after we did that, mysteriously, Endymion never mentioned, and most of the other chuds never tried to marshal Alan Ritchson as one of their own.
Well, that's true.
They would have abandoned him eventually anyway, but
recently that has changed because he has inserted himself in some more specific and current ways that has really pissed some folks off. So if, what I did was we can look at it in a second if you want, but I did just search for Alan Ritchson on YouTube and found there is a bit of a bubbling up of chud grifting around him now.
Okay, before we get to that, one important message is we're discussing that old video. Endymion, if you're hearing this, delete your fucking channel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, another thing that didn't happen was he didn't fucking delete his channel, which I was pretty clear is what he should do.
Yeah.
But
so just as a reminder, because I know it's been a while and you might not have, you lose things in the mail, whatever. Like,
yeah, and he's gotten around to it. He's been too busy,
lying about others people. Yeah,
everything. It's pretty pathetic. That dude is especially just gross.
So I shared a link from Discord in the private chat of a meme I found Alan Ritchson that is funny to look at. But yeah, let's talk about what his.
You are able to share that as well. I know you have that power. I don't know if you knew that, but.
Yeah, I just didn't bother to download it onto my computer. That's all. But I'll go ahead and do that. What the hell? But yeah, the clip is pretty funny.
All right, so what are the chuds grifting on while Bob is getting that loaded
well,
up?
Let me find that. While I'm finding that, here's a pretty recent thing. This is pretty great.
A lot of actors that are afraid to kind of like speak their mind and kind of like
give it. Josh Horowitz again. He's just in everything.
He really is.
Right in the middle of everything.
Shit, I told you, I'm missing that gene, dude. I need that because it's honestly, everybody's scared around me for what I'm going to say. Everybody's scared. My publicist right now is like, I say she's like biting her nails. Her nails she bites her nails down to the cuticles. They're just tiny little cuticles left. And so what is this idiot going to do? I just have to. She actually showed me her beautiful nails right now. It's like people I think are a little bit afraid of me. Because they're like, he's a loose cannon. And I'm not. I'm just saying the shit that everybody should say if they give a shit about humanity. And why am I the exception to the rule? Bitch, everybody else speak up. You are all feeling the same thing, you idiots. Like get loud and stop like kowtowing to the wrong people. Stop bowing down to people that like have power. You got power too, man. And power in numbers, dude. You know what happened if like everybody felt like me? Everybody felt like, I got to be careful. I left Dax Shepard. I just did Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. And I went on a goddamn rant that I left I was like, that's just not, man, it's just not me. I shouldn't say those things because people are going to start to get like, he's scary.
No.
But I just like, dude, he goes, I love Dax. I had the best time on his show. And he goes, maybe you should let go of that stuff. And I'm like, let go. I was like, everybody else should have it. Everybody else should feel like I feel.
The world is on fire.
Mad about the way things are and the abuses that are happening. The Epstein files. The fucking Epstein files. God damn it. Where are they? It's a fucking law, bitch. Show it. You fucking pedophiles. I shouldn't say fuck because I'm a Christian and people are going to go like, how can he say fuck and he's a Christian? Because that is something that should make you want to say fuck. Sorry, God.
No, I mean, yeah, and I have seen people. There's several of these videos that I've seen pop up here. Like, for instance, here's a Crowder clip. We're not gonna watch it, of course, but like, it is called "Crowder Destroys Jack Reacher's R-Worded Trump Rant."
Oh
And
my gods, dude!
Several
Really?
of the things that I've seen from a Chud or some right wing figure, it's weird what they say that they won't say what it is he's talking about that they're mad about. So they say he goes on a tirade against Trump, but they don't say what about. If there's
Right.
room, you can put it about the Epstein files in there in your headlines, guys. You should put that.
It's weird. They used to put the Epstein files in all
Just-
their headlines. Bob, isn't
No,
that right?
just-
They used to always.
Yeah, just let Alan finish. He hasn't even mentioned Trump yet. Let him get to the relevant point because it's pretty funny. And then
I'm sweating now. This is my fucking politics, dude. I would fucking railroad these fuckers. I would get those Epstein files out in 2 seconds. Yeah, dude. 2 seconds. Fucking move out of the way. Like, get out of there. I don't care what room they're in. Bitch, move. Like, give me the fucking manila envelope. I will get you the Epstein files. Sorry.
You got my vote. Whatever you want to run for, you got it.
Don't you want to see what's in there so that we can hold people accountable? These fucking rapists? We're just cool with it? That bitch has the keys to the nuclear. He's like all up into 13-year-olds. Like, dude, what? Go to jail. Go to jail. All right, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
brother.
He's
That's
all up
awesome.
in 13-year-olds. Wow.
Fuck yeah.
So
Yeah, it's weird. Crowder didn't want to play that.
All right, I'm going to share the picture real quick because this is
All
the
right.
perfect time to show it.
Excellent. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, brother.
And
That's
you know, we
odd.
talked about then that I had just kind of learned all this about it whenever we did that video, Bob. But like I you know, paid attention to it since then. I've watched Reacher for one thing, and I'm very excited for season 4, which looks
Oh, yeah.
honestly probably more exciting than any, like as far as like a lot of action seemingly compared to previous seasons maybe. But it just looks great. And yeah, so this is a guy who has bipolar disorder. And he, I think, had some kind of other issue with his health when he was a kid. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And he's
wow.
just like gone on to, you know, make this out of himself. And then, you know, he doesn't sacrifice who he is. And this is somebody he's a very devout Christian.
Yeah.
And, you know, normally somebody tells me they're a devout Christian, I'm going to be like, you know, kinda,
yeah.
and I'm usually kind of sometimes turn out to be right. If I get to know that person enough, I'm like, oh, I see where you're just like a big ass hypocrite and kind of a shithead. But I mean, if they were like him more, I'd be like, hey, Christians are great. All of them.
This guy is so devoted of a Christian that his YouTube channel is called Insta Church, and he just puts up
son.
Christian sermons that he mostly ad libs when he gets a chance. He doesn't upload regularly anymore because he's a busy guy.
Right.
But when he was a struggling actor, that was his main outlet on social media, and he just did like liberation theology, Martin Luther King style Christianity uploads, like social gospel, Jesus was a communist. He actually has a video where he says Jesus was a socialist, right? So that's the kind of Christian he is. And he's been this way for years. And when he first popped off, all the chuds like Endymion and a couple of the other ones tried to like, all they knew was that he was a Christian. So they were like, okay,
So they
here
thought
we
he was
go.
a bigot.
Yeah. So they thought he was one of theirs, and they were quickly disavowed of that notion.
Indeed.
I would love to live in a world where when someone says I'm a Christian, I don't have to look to see where the exits are. That'd be super swell.
That I actually,
and he is. By the, I want to point this out.
That you know, that espoused the beliefs, the teachings of Christ. If I, that's what sucks. Is like I know what Jesus taught. I know the things he said. You know what I mean? And then but whenever I hear somebody say they're a Christian, I have no confidence that that's what they're about.
Yeah, you were gonna say, Bob?
Yeah.
I want to point out that he is queer affirming as well.
Sweetness.
He's not ambiguous about it. He doesn't like advertise it.
Sure.
He doesn't advertise his politics very much anymore, but he has partnered in the recent past with charities that take care of homeless queer kids and stuff like that. So
that's one of the most important things you can do, honestly.
This is uploaded 1 day ago on Associated Press.
Be loud and proud about your convictions.
I want to live a life that feels meaningful to me, and I think that means speaking my truth. We're on different ends of the spectrum now, where there's like 30 books about Reacher, and we're inside of his head the whole time, and it's all sort of told through his POV. The only thing I have to protect is the creative integrity of what Lee Child did for us. Whereas Neely, Lee never really dove into the backstory there, and so there's the luxury and the burden of expanding on what's.
So he went from they asked him about why he speaks out, about social issues, political issues, and he said that, and then now he's talking about which I just learned today. I think maybe I'd read it was going to happen at some point, but a spin-off series of Neely, the chick that he gets a little assist from, well, actually large assist from a couple times. That was in his unit back in the army or whatever, and that looks pretty good too. I was not expecting a Reacherverse, but I guess
into the Reacherverse.
Yeah. Honestly, like it's crazy to think that, like, I remember whenever the Tom Cruise Reacher movies came out, and I was just like, I have negative interest in that. Like, I just don't care. And people would tell me, oh, because he's supposed to be real tall and big, and I'm like, but he's not.
He's Tom Cruise.
And even still, I was like, I didn't think that it would be good. I was just like, okay, so it's supposed to be a bigger guy that's like, oh, I'm a badass guy, just beating people up because I'm an awesome guy. And it's like, that's what it is, but it's awesome. Like, it's legitimately, I don't know, if you're somebody that just doesn't, it's not the most high level in intelligence as far as ideas and stuff, but I mean, also at the same time, it is tightly scripted. The characters are focused. There's a Reacher is not a guy that I relate to in almost any way, or some ways, but not like the overall hyper focus on being, but like at the same time, it just comes off as a real person. Like I could see this person existing, and it's pretty great.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I have not read all of the Reacher books by any chance, but I've read several of them, and I actually enjoyed the first Tom Cruise Reacher movie, and the fact that he was small, I think they worked with it and they changed the element of the character where he's not huge and intimidating, he's underestimated all the time, and it worked for that movie. But seeing Alan Ritchson play Reacher the way he was intended to be portrayed, which is essentially he's just a wandering pulp barbarian who comes into town when he needs supplies and wrecks the local tyrant and then leaves. He's like, he
owns like a shirt, and that's like all he owns. Kind of a toothbrush is, he's got his toothbrush, and he just kind of wanders like a, and it's they don't make it like a huge. They do talk about it, like characters try to get into his head about, like, don't you think it's kind of not good that you're just so on your own and you don't have a home or anything? And he's just like, essentially does a good job of selling it, and they don't like try to indicate that there's some kind of deeper trauma that makes him constantly stay on the road like this, which is what I would expect. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is just who he is, and he feels like this. He's doing what he needs to be doing by doing this,
right?
And of course that means that every season he winds up in a situation that's very specifically something that he needs to deal with. But like, let's watch the trailer for this season, because there's a few instant classic Reacher lines in it.
Morgan, did you want to say something before?
No, go ahead.
Because I cut you off.
No, you're good.
And they did explain in the first season of Reacher, they gave him enough exposition where he basically said, look, I was told exactly where to go and where to be for my whole life in the military, and now I'm free. Yeah. I'm just going to wander.
Yeah, I mean, the implication, maybe he says something about this too, but like the subtext of the fact that he used to be the head of this investigative unit in the army and stuff, and I think one of the seasons is specifically about some fallout from that from years ago that's kind of come back to the present, and you kind of get the idea that disappointed him, like the restrictions on investigations, the ways that a system prevents you from seeing something through, kind of thing, or whatever, like that. That's the kind of thing that motivates him to just be this force of investigative, accountability monster that he is.
And he's the accountability gremlin.
He isn't. He is. And he says something about that in this. It's like one of those lines that I was talking about.
Jack Reacher, where is the drive that Anna Merrick gave to you before she killed herself on the train?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Do you think we're stupid?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
No, but I'm the last person to talk to your sister. There is no.
Definitely. Thanks, Rush. Definitely gonna fucking get a copyright claim on this.
Once again, Rush ruining my day.
Every day, it's like once a week at least. But it is a really fucking good song choice for this trailer.
When did my sister killed herself? Show me what you have. Your sister's involved in something big enough that the federal government's worried and people are trying to work me over on the street because of it. Why do you care? I'm good at not letting people get away with things.
That's the line, right?
That's
there.
a good line.
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time and you saw the wrong thing. Walk away.
No.
No.
God damn, that looks fucking horrifying. Pulling his head through the bars. I love how like there's so many instances where like in your average, even a talented scriptwriter that was working on a script about a hero, badass hero that's gonna end up in a situation, he's gonna save the day or whatever. They would have him say something specific and like longer and like something that sounds meant to be cool, right?
No is cool.
But no, they just have him go no. Like, yeah, it's just fucking, it's perfect.
And you've got an actor who can deliver it, right? Because like not everyone can make that no work. He makes it work.
You can't do like that.
Shut up. They weren't the only ones who wanted it. 2 people tried to kill me over it.
What happened to those people?
They got away?
Context,
got away?
They did not get away.
They did no.
Probably.
That depends how you define away.
They got away from this life.
And they have shown some various ways that they've gone about. He and his friends have gone about. If some like really when it's really bad guys, like some truly vile fuckers, they will make sure that they're just never found.
Right.
Like in the I think it was second season where they kind of hid some bodies of some bad guys in some drying cement underneath a building that was being erected. So
yeah,
they got away.
I'm a journalist. I have to get the story out. A man like Samson cannot take the White House.
You can't have just some fucking criminal piece of shit guy taking the fucking White House,
Yeah.
Oh,
played by Buffy the Vampire Slayer's season 4 boyfriend.
Oh God, that is him. Holy yeah. I remember thinking he was not a very good actor in that.
You were right. He was not. But maybe he's gotten better.
I hope so.
Because he was mostly cast. I mean, like, this is an aside, but he was cast in that role to look pretty, and his job in the show was to be kind of a dumb jock. So maybe he was playing that role really well, and
Mission
we just
Chaplin?
all thought he was bad at acting.
Some task force though after that, where he was like a cyborg or some bullshit. That was crazy.
Well, he was part of a secret military unit, but his persona was he was a
I'm
jock.
sorry, gentlemen. I have not watched Buffy somehow. I know I'm the last queer person who hasn't watched Buffy. There's a cyborg in Buffy?
Morgan, it is the most like this show is, I mean, it's for the most part. Am I wrong? He's like kind of a cyborg, right?
No, he stays human the whole time, but there is a cyborg in the show that is like so like they do retell a lot of the classic gothic monster things.
Sure.
And season 4 was Frankenstein, basically. So the big bad is like a Frankenstein monster, but because it's modern day, he's also partially cybernetic.
He's a cyborg.
I guess I got my memories crossed, and for whatever reason, I was picturing him as being the guy that became that.
No, it was the other guy, the other generic white guy in the show that was added just that season.
No, I would say Buffy, you should definitely watch it, Morgan. I think you would probably love it. I did. I didn't think I was going to. I had a gay roommate it was the last place I lived really before I left Texas for Oregon. So I was in Austin and like I had his gay roommate, and I only say that because he was just very adamant that I should watch it because he's and
that's a queer person in the 90s. Yeah, I understand.
No, I mean this wasn't in the 90s. This was 20.
Same difference. Yeah.
But I mean, I had gone all this time without watching it because I kind of just wrote it off as like stuff that's on the CW or whatever. I'm not gonna like it,
Sure.
And it definitely has its corniness to it, but that eventually that just becomes a big draw for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think there's some fantastic storytelling that done in that show. That why are we talking about that? We're supposed to be talking about new stuff. Stop it, Dane.
Yeah, talk about Reacher. But you are correct. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was iconic, and it changed the way television was made. Right around the same time that like Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine were also doing long form storytelling with season long arcs and stuff like that. Buffy did the same thing, and it just kind of revolutionized the way TV is made.
Yep. And then right after that was whenever you get like Lost and Battlestar Galactica and the next evolution of that.
One of those is even good.
I'd say both of them were mostly good.
I did not care for Lost.
That's fine. So I mean, I'm a weirdo in that most people that liked Lost liked it less as it went on. I liked
it more.
It got way more sci-fi and like, yeah, just fucking wacky. I'm like, yeah, I love that shit. Fucking time traveling islands, fuck yes.
He's on the run.
I'm not CIA. My van has cuts on it.
You think a hat's gonna make you blend in?
We have mercenaries, feds, the CIA, and all after this thing. We still don't know why.
And what do you say about his company? And what do you say about society?
Still alive? Good.
Oh. Maybe not. Maybe. Oof.
The most Reacher thing ever. That's great. Yeah, he does seem like he'd be a chud for sure. If it wasn't for, I don't know, probably you, Bob, telling me that it was such a good show, I don't know if I'd ever watched it because I'd seen people saying this better than you'd expect or whatever. But yeah,
it's better than the books it's based on, in my opinion.
I kind of got that. I was looking through some synopsis of some of the books and stuff, and yeah,
because the writing in the books is not critical drinker bad, but it's in the genre of what you call airport dad
porn. Yeah.
Porn, whatever. I forget the exact, but dad and airport is in your description of that genre. It is near the top of the quality.
Yeah, sure.
But it's still that genre of writing. So they're written functionally. I mean, you can consume them and it's not going to stick with you, but it's fun while you're reading it. But the show is just so much better. It's better written and better paced and everything. And you get, mostly because you get the point of view of other characters. Like the Reacher books are largely just Reacher's point of view for everything.
Right.
Yeah. So I just want to point out that I encountered a video. We're not going to watch it right now, but it's a half an hour long and it's by somebody named Nash Kuhn, and it's got a good old Barry Weiss in the thumbnail, and it says barreled, quote, Barry Weiss. So apparently her name is Barreled. That's canon now.
That's canon.
I don't know. That was pretty funny.
I agree.
Said, I worked with Barry Weiss. Here's why she's like that.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Sounds like some tea.
For later.
Yeah, some tea.
Sure.
It's not tea time, so we can't do the tea. Yeah, I see. Okay. I'm glad Dane respects tea time.
Yeah, so Chud's talking about this guy. It's a thing now.
So now they're upsetting Spaghetti that the most straight white guy ever is the opposite of them, and they can't handle it.
What it is that then whenever we covered it, whenever Endymion covered it, he found an angle that was not something that I would expect other Chuds to pick up on. He must have been watching Reacher, realize, because we know, but as we talked about in the thing, that he knew he was lying because he had to edit things, certain things certain ways and he just knew that everything he was saying was essentially lying. That Jack Reacher, Alan Richardson does not fucking agree with his politics. He's not anti-woke, any of that stuff. In fact, he's got a pretty epic rant about why woke is just a stupid word. And yeah, so we knew he was, and then I guess he probably just was having a man crush on Alan Richardson at the time. So he's like, I'm going to use this to lie and say that he's, anti-woke and he doesn't like gay people.
Yeah. What he did, if I recall correctly, is he tried to say that Hollywood and the video game industry are trying to squeeze out straight white Christian men like Alan Ritchson.
Kennedy and stuff, and like, what are you talking about?
What are
And he used footage from Alan Ritchson's InstaChurch channel where he took the audio out. So he had to have known, or at least his editor had to have known, that the things Alan Ritchson was saying in the screen captures they took from those videos was the exact opposite of everything Endymion TV believes.
Yep.
So there's no way he did not know he was lying.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out too that I didn't look into it when it happened. I never watched the video, but a few months ago there was an incident where he kind of went viral that Alan Ritchson had just beaten up a neighbor basically. And there's some incident that happened, and Alan Ritchson, big old guy, just fucked up his neighbor, and that's kind of concerning. It's like, oh no, is he problematic guy?
I have to step away for a moment. I'll be right back.
Cool. But I found out that this guy is truly just on the side of the angels. So I found this TMZ video here that shows the neighbor telling his side of the story.
It started on Saturday morning and I'm an experienced motorcycle rider. I've been riding bikes all my life. So, from dirt bikes to street bikes and etc. But I'd heard this incestuous revving and speeding through our neighborhood of the motorcycle. I eventually saw the guy on Saturday. I didn't know who it was. And I sort of like flippantly sort of said, "Guy, like he was quite away." And I said, "Can you just slow it down, please?" And then there are numerous people in my neighborhood who call all of this.
Would you be surprised to learn that several things he said here are a lie, and provably so?
Wow. On TMZ.
Believe it or not.
That bastion of journalistic integrity.
You know what? They've actually been doing some decent stuff as far as politics go in this. Yeah, they've covered some. They do a lot of fact checking and exposing hypocrisy and shit. It's pretty decent. I'm not going to say that they're overall like a reformed organization or something, but like
sure.
Speeding through the neighborhood, and on Sunday when I was cleaning my bike outside my house, he rode past once, twice, and on the second time I walked out in front of him and I said, "You've got to stop. Someone's going to get hurt." And it escalated quite quickly from there. I did push him because he was coming towards me on his bike.
That's not even what happened actually. So what he does is we could actually see it because it's on camera. It's actually on Alan Ritchson's head camera, as well as other sources. Let me see. Basically, he so he's with his sons. His sons are also on little bikes there. And they apparently do this on a regular basis, drive around on their bikes.
Sure.
And they're probably three of them, driving through the neighborhood, even though I'm assuming they're doing it legally. It's probably pretty obnoxious, but I mean, you're also a bike rider, so get over it.
Get over, yeah. You already said you're a bike rider, bro.
What you see if you look at Alan Ritchson's camera, his GoPro basically, is that the guy walks out in front of the motorcycle and he has to like slam on his brake, and he almost flips over the bike.
Yeah.
The guy is just standing there to stop him, and he's like, very easily, that's exactly how you flip a bike. Is you fucking hit the brakes going too fast, and you're gonna fucking flip over. And then, the guy's a little top heavy too, if you look at him. So
he's
But like he stops, like, dude, what the fuck? And the guy comes up and kind of yells at him. He's like, they exchange words. They're both kind of being angrily shouting and stuff. And then Alan turns his bike. It's very much like a Renee Good situation, if you will.
Right.
Where he turns his bike away from the guy to try and just drive off. And the guy steps in front of him again. And like, it kind of pushes him or whatever. So him saying that he pushed him because he was driving his bike towards him is like that cop saying, "I shot at her because she was driving towards me," or whatever.
Right.
Not in front of the vehicle, you stupid fuck.
What a
this was like
shit.
This was like one of the best fuck around and find out. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that was one of the best fuck around and find out moments from, I think, earlier this year. where some MAGA guy, because the guy was MAGA.
Oh, is he
thought
too?
Oh, okay. We just watched this TMZ thing where he was lying about what happened.
Yeah. And I was listening. I just had to step away. But he thought he nailed Alan Ritchson. He thought he had him. And then all the evidence came out, and right-wing media ran with it for like a day.
Yeah.
And then Alan Ritchson was like, "Oh yeah, look at this bitch."
at
And
this.
the whole narrative collapsed. Like, because the Chuds were trying to build a narrative around Alan Ritchson then too.
Right.
So that was their second time at bat, and they struck out again.
Oh,
So
poor babies.
I imagine they're going to be really desperate to try and get him this time.
Their poor spaghetti's all upsetty. I'm so happy.
Yep. Wait, let's see. We got
I'm not happy till they're not happy.
So
Is that supposed to be with no audio? I can't hear anything.
sorry, my bad. So basically, they're saying that it went viral. This first video is what came out, and that honestly looks pretty bad if that's all you see. Because at that point, the guy had been pushing him and being a shithead to him. Maybe it wasn't necessary to hit him while he's on the ground, but he seems like he could have hurt him far worse if he wanted to, than what he was doing.
Yeah.
He kind of tagged him in the belly a couple times, but yeah.
Well, Alan's kids were there.
What led up to these moments, as the DA says, actor Alan Ritchson was defending himself.
Let's see.
Explains.
But also because of attention, not just because who was involved, but also because of the public safety questions it poses.
Yeah, she explains what led up to these moments, as the DA says, actor Alan Ritchson was defending himself.
Oh, he did flip his bike. Whoa! Holy shit! I didn't realize that. I was just saying he could have. But yeah.
And Alan's kids were there, so that was like putting his kids' lives in danger as well.
At that point, honestly, I don't think he did anything that was. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You step out in front of a guy that you already. The reason you're complaining is because you think he's going through too fast, I guess. And then, what a fucking dick snot.
Are you kidding me, bro? For what? For what?
This is video from Alan Ritchson's phone, recording as he rolled through his neighborhood with his children. It shows what led up to the fight. Neighbor Ronnie Taylor stepped in front of the bike, causing Ritchson to brake hard and flip over head first.
For what? Stand in front of a bike again, dude. But do what? You threatened my safety, bro.
Ritchson is best known for his role in the action series Reacher, a former military policeman who solves crimes with a bit of street justice. Then Ritchson himself delivers a bit of street justice.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Both men get hurt. The interaction lasts about 2.5 minutes, and Ritchson eventually rides away. Brentwood police pull up.
You know that is right. Why is that address familiar?
I rolled my bike out this afternoon.
Taylor told officers on body cam he was out cleaning his motorcycle. He wanted to stop Ritchson, believing he was speeding.
I was gonna fight him. He's a big dude. I wasn't interested in that. He's like, "Have you had a drink? Have you had a drink?" I said, "Yeah, I had a drink while I'm watching the soccer today."
The only person endangering anybody here was this dude. The only aggressor was this dude.
Officers go to meet Ritchson. They take pictures of both men's bumps and bruises, listing both men on the report as both victim and suspect. In the end, prosecutors say Ritchson acted in self-defense and could have faced criminal charges against Taylor for causing him to crash. Ritchson decided not to.
How magnanimous of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, because it turns out good people, most honest people, don't want to sue people, and no one wants to do it unless you either have to because you're something bad has happened and you need to
Now I may do a little research later on if I remember and see what I can find, but I doubt there's anything. I am very curious what if this guy was aware of Reacher's, I keep calling him Reacher, Richardson's political leanings prior to this. If he's a MAGA guy,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
he was.
Oh, yeah, I remember he was a MAGA guy.
Okay, so that tells me that there's almost certainly, knowing how the MAGA brain operates. You know how they love to just create scenarios of where they can play the victim.
Operate's a generous word.
Yeah, it looked. I don't remember all of the details, but there was, around the time this happened, the guy was getting interviewed before Alan Richardson's footage was really made public. The guy was on, I think, on Fox News or one of the Fox News clones, and they were they were in the process of building a anti-Alan Richardson public relations campaign about how he's a woke idiot and all this other stuff. And the guy it's weird that he's MAGA because he's also British, but the guy had mentioned that he thought Alan Richardson was like a liberal cuck or whatever. And,
oh my God.
In one of those interviews. And then the footage comes out and everyone's like, oh, fuck you, bro. You're just an asshole.
You're just
And I love that Alan was like, stay down. Stay down.
Stay down.
Because that's allowed in self-defense. Like, you are allowed to attack until the threat is neutralized. And Alan's kids were there, and the guy kept getting up.
His son's got a real lesson in action, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure they know their dad isn't somebody that goes around looking to beat people up, but, you know. I mean, look, if he's just trying to stop the guy, if you just want it, like, it is understandable. Like, you feel like somebody's speeding through your neighborhood. Okay. Then the thing to do is not to stand in front of the bike.
The thing to do is to call the cops, right? Like,
I mean, I would try to flag them down first if
sure.
You know, that'd be
That's
me,
fair.
maybe, because I don't like to.
Apparently, they do have beef going back a while over the motorcycle thing, from what I understand.
Sure.
And the MAGA guy thought he was going to be Jack Reacher in this situation and take justice into his own hands because the wheels of actual justice were moving too slowly, because a noise complaint about somebody's motorcycle in broad daylight, when
it's not as important
we're allowed to
you whenever.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
I mean, he maybe was going too fast, or maybe it is really loud, but it is the middle of the day when it's normal for traffic to be driving around the streets, you know?
What?
So if he was like doing it at like 3 a.m,
right, that's different.
That would be a bigger nuisance. But yeah, the whole thing was stupid, a stupid stunt. And the guy was trying to get his 15 minutes of fame out of Alan Richardson.
What a cunt.
So here's the thing that I can do a Chipper Gore experience for that I'm excited. I haven't watched the trailer yet. There's a new Blade Runner thing.
Yes.
That's a Prime show, correct?
Yep, it's an Amazon Prime show. It's Blade Runner 2099.
And the star is
Michelle Yeoh and Hunter Schafer.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen this trailer yet either. I've seen the Cyberpunk one and the Rings of Power one, but not this one.
Oh, look at that. What fucking Computing Forever is the first channel to come up with.
Gross.
Reacting to that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Hunter Schafer is trans. Wow.
Yeah.
They're going to get so much grist out of this one. Oh my God.
Yeah. Poor girl.
Hey, man, if they didn't know, they wouldn't be able to tell. God damn it.
Like, I've never even seen her in anything. I haven't watched that show Euphoria. I've never watched that show.
Yeah, I haven't watched
it. So to my
either.
knowledge, I've never seen her in anything. So I'm real interested to see what she's going to be like in this show.
Look at all those data centers.
We already fought a war. We lost. Replicants. They keep taking it all away. How much longer? Until we have nothing. Until we are nothing. The old world forever fights to come back. Humans want what was taken from them. But it's our time now.
Fuck yeah.
So they're playing replicants.
So
It looks
Hunter
like-
Schafer's
looks like-
character is a human,
Okay.
Yes.
and Michelle Yeoh's character is a replicant.
All right.
But is
And
Hunter
I said
Schafer-
Cyberpunk trailer a minute ago. I meant the Neuromancer trailer.
Is she becoming a replicant? Is what I'm kind of wondering based on what we just saw. Did she die in that? Like, why would they show that? Like her being beaten to death is almost seemed like, and
We don't
then
know.
and then there's like some kind of stuff about bodies and stuff like that, and it's just like kind of see the language to me, the visual language indicates to me that maybe she's got her consciousness transferred, and while we know that's not something they've done in 2049 in a timeline, this is 2099.
Right, it's been 50 years.
One thing exciting
I'm
about this
sad.
is like
I'm sad for this. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. The one thing exciting about this is like the lore is completely unwritten, and there's so much you can do. So in the right hands, you can do virtually anything out, and there's no Bible that exists for what I mean, for the canon. So you can just do some cool shit, tell some cool stories.
And it's one of those things that even as far as like, oh, what about the source material? Well, the original Blade Runner deviates from Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep pretty heavily.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I think
heavily.
Now correct me if I'm wrong. I do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of these sort of things, but this is the first time a trans actor has been the lead in a major science fiction show.
I think so.
Right?
Certainly that I can think of.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go back and watch 2049 because I watched it exactly once.
Oh man, that's really unfortunate. I'm gonna have to watch that again, considering
Yeah.
it's like one of my favorite movies ever.
Ghost Rider's in it.
True.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Ghost Rider is in fact in it.
Legitimately one of the most compelling, like just science fiction, if I'm gonna have to limit it to something, performances ever. Like I don't know, that's what Ryan Gosling won me over with that movie in particular. I was like,
yeah, he
holy-
was excellent in that.
He's really good in it. Yeah.
he does
this trailer-
so little. Like I mean, not to say like the material, but like his movements, his mannerisms. It's like he's got control over the micro expressions of his face in a way.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And this trailer pairs well with the Neuromancer trailer, which kind of
Mhm.
blew me away that I didn't even know that there was an adaptation of that being made.
Oh.
That's like the foundational text of the cyberpunk genre.
That is, yeah. It all comes from Gibson and Neuromancer. Yeah.
This is the John Carter to Star Wars kind of situation.
Yeah.
Neuromancer.
Well, I mean, without Neuromancer, the cyberpunk maybe the cyberpunk genre would have been invented eventually, but without the novel Neuromancer, it just would. I don't think it would exist in any recognizable way.
No.
Every trope, like literally every trope of the genre, was invented in that novel.
I remember Ant's video that talked about this and how Elon Musk does not fucking understand cyberpunk. But
Yeah.
several minutes on this, and that's what I came away from it thinking is like, oh, there's a lot of very specific types of visuals and concepts that are just introduced right here.
Yeah. A lot of pop culture doesn't understand cyberpunk, the genre.
Nope.
It's not just Elon Musk, because
What
the
am I
point
doing?
was not to make the corporate dystopia look cool.
Right. That was in fact not the point.
I think that it's probably the Venn diagram of people who don't understand cyberpunk versus people who just are media illiterate is like just a circle.
Yeah.
And it's probably a lot of people. But let's check this out. It's only a minute long.
What am I doing here? Purpose. Purpose is everything. You're scared. We all are.
What makes you so special?
I'm the best constant.
Where would anime be without this? You know, what
Nowhere.
I'm saying?
Well, not nowhere, but like anime as we know it,
yeah,
would not exist. Because like, think of how Ghost in the Shell is foundational, and Ghost in the Shell is
it just basically could exist in this.
It couldn't exist without Neuromancer.
Is it? Hey, let me just an aside real quick. Is it weird that I kind of like the Ghost in the Shell live action movie?
Yes, you're a bad person. You should feel. I'm kidding.
I know.
So man around. I steal data in cyberspace.
Oh, what? From where? Imagine like whenever this book came out, people were like, "Wait, what? Do you steal data from cyberspace
with a keyboard?"
I don't think kinda, but like it's a different kind of thing, right? Like it's not really. No, because as far as aesthetic goes, it's a dystopian thing, and
yeah.
I would say like the first movie, I would say is cyberpunk adjacent.
Yeah, it's like proto cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Big Fieldy, these are not movies. Blade Runner 2099 and Neuromancer are both TV series.
Mm-hmm. Aw. I respect the hell out of it.
Guess we'll find out.
Let's roll.
See you on the other side. Jack.
That looks like another The Matrix. Literally.
Yeah. The Matrix. Also, we wouldn't have the Matrix without this.
Well, nobody would have the Matrix if not for this woman named I forget her name. Very interesting, compelling, kind of sad, fucked up, weird story. But like, there's a channel called Treehouse Detective. If you're interested at all in the Matrix and how that came about or how it didn't, go watch their recent-ish video that explains the woman who claimed and actually sued the Wachowskis, Warner Brothers, for ownership and for like billions of dollars. She sued them, claiming they'd stolen her concepts and ideas and stolen her stuff directly from for the ideas for the Matrix.
Wow.
And she's done various podcasts, talked about it. How it's just like they're not allowed. The more I say about it, the more you'll understand what's actually going on. But basically, she's not correct. And that's putting it mildly. She either is very, very unwell or very, very dedicated to a really fucking weird, silly grift.
Right.
I was going to say I was skeptical of her story because The Matrix is a brilliant movie, but it's not really a terribly original idea. I mean, it's a cool idea, but they are not the first people that came up with an idea like that. So
no.
They're the first people to put it into a popular mainstream, big budget picture.
Yes, they were absolutely, and they certainly deserve credit for that. I'm not trying to like diminish that, but her argument rests on the claim that they stole these ideas from her, and what actually happened is that they were both drawing from similar.
See, you would think
from
that
the same sources, basically.
That's what most people kind of end up saying, and then the people that she's done interviews with, they'll say stuff like, I don't think she, I think she's probably just mistaken or whatever. The Treehouse Detective guy actually read her manuscript, and it is not at all. That's what makes you come away from it thinking, oh, she's not well, or like, for one thing, it's hardly even coherent as a story. It's not really narrative.
Sure.
It's just random ideas kind of stapled together. And like, it's only in the sense that there is a main character who is essentially the Messiah who, but other than that, it's like aliens have sent this Messiah to Earth and it's like, it's called the Third Eye. And it's just, yes, there are certain types of figures in the world that exist as villains that represent the bad guy or whatever. So she's like, you can see how she's mapping on certain things very loosely, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like and then Neo, and it's like, but other than that, there's nothing. It's absolutely nothing that you could mistake for being anything that.
There's not really any there.
Yeah.
By the way, she also sued James Cameron for the Terminator saying that
Oh,
was,
so she's one of those. Okay.
and then and then she still, even to this day, says things like, they're not allowed to make any more of those after I've sued them and made a bunch of, I made money off of them. She says she won her lawsuit, which is objectively untrue. You can find how that went. She says she won. They're not allowed to talk about it or make any sequels. She said that since, like, in the period that they were making sequels to both things. So yeah, it's just weird.
The case against J.K. Rowling for ripping off Neil Gaiman's The Books of Magic is stronger than this case. And that's a pretty weak case.
It's a real weak case, yeah.
I did want to kind of take a little sidestep here to talk about some really good news that we got earlier. So, as you know, and starts with good news, the Tates are in jail.
Yeah, that's wonderful news.
They were in there. Andrew Tate, who, as he did last time, he either has some secret phone or most likely he's dictating tweets to people outside that tweet for him from his account. So he's kind of narrating his experience, which is great. I appreciate him for that. One of the things that he said the other day is that he is the guy next to him is apparently a cannibal who screams all night. And
I'm so happy for him.
I love that for him. Like, so cool.
I'm happy for the cannibal too.
I actually feel bad for the cannibal.
The cannibal's probably like, I wasn't screaming all night till he got here. And now I'm like, yeah, you know what? That guy's a piece of shit.
Get me away from this sex trafficker.
The cannibal really thinks he's a fucking moral,
well, I mean, compared to Andrew Tate, depends on the scale, I guess, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like someone could convince me that Andrew Tate is the bigger threat to humanity than a cannibal.
I mean,
well, he's harmed more people directly, I would say.
Yeah, right?
Like a cannibal has to either get you incapacitated or otherwise they're going to have a difficult time eating you.
Right.
If they're like,
and in principle, a cannibal doesn't even have to kill anybody.
True. And a cannibal, even if we're saying he is, even
but,
if he's saying that he's killing people for his food, he can only do one of those at a time, basically. He can only kill and cut up one person, eat them one at a time. It's probably very filling to eat a person. And so
he could even eat
in that same amount of time, Andrew Tate is harming lots and lots of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cannibal could even eat himself. There was a funny story I read a few years ago, and this may just be an urban legend.
Sure.
But the story was of like a professional chef who was in a bad car accident and had to have his leg amputated. And he said, okay, so he decided, I forget all the details, but leading up to it. But basically what happened was him and his friends decided to cook and eat his leg.
Fuck.
Because, when are you going to, it was just like a weird thing.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
The story was like they were trying to get him into legal trouble over it. And he was like, bro, it's my leg.
It's my, yeah. Who got hurt here?
It's still illegal.
Yeah, I know it's still illegal, but it was just it was an amusing story to me because his argument in the story, which may be an urban legend,
right?
His legal argument was like, well, look, it's my leg, it's my body. I'm not hurting anybody. Why is it illegal for me to eat my leg?
Based on this real story that is real, what? No, that is true. Not Israel. I forget the guy's name. I think he was German in the 80s, I want to say. I learned about this on podcast, true crime podcast. It's a documented case of a guy who was a cannibal who did not want to kill anybody. But there was another guy. He basically took lots of time and put out ads and stuff, and he ended up finding somebody. They found each other. And the other guy wanted to be eaten because I think he was going to die maybe anyway. And so he was like, I want to know what it's like to be eaten. I want to give somebody that satisfaction that wants to do it. And they started with his penis, and it did not cook like they thought it was going to. So it was very chewy. And yeah, it's a whole story. It's real.
I'm fine, thank you.
but their logic was the same. Was like basically, well, okay, but if I'm literally signing, he actually signed a thing saying I want this to happen. But apparently it doesn't matter. So
yeah,
well,
and it does cause brain problems, but only if you do it like a lot, like.
I'm just tired of the authority figures. And who decided they're the ones that get to tell us how to live and what we can and can't
who we can and can't eat.
Yeah. Anyway, the cannibal who's screaming in the cell next to Andrew Tate is doing God's work.
The second update we just got today. Apparently, he is just shitting his brains out constantly while he's in jail.
Oh,
and he's very,
Poor
very
guy.
unhappy. Very
I'm
miserable.
so happy for him.
Couldn't happen to a better guy, you know.
Yeah, it could.
He deserves it. And it seems like obviously the Trump administration, I believe, is not going near this. I think they already did their one attempt and at helping this guy out, and they did. They kept him out of jail for a while. But other than that, you know, sorry about your luck.
Well, at a certain point, like, well, what did you do for me lately? Right? That's the Trump MO. You know, well, he's been partying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's not much to say.
Right.
Andrew Tate's a piece of shit. He's in prison where he belongs, and he has a screaming cannibal in the cell next to him that's mentally torturing him, and he's shitting himself.
Right.
Okay.
Justice
cool.
is served.
Oh wait, looks like we got some promotional art for Ghost Rider already. Wow.
Ooh.
Check this out.
That's cool.
I don't know if Rachel McAdams is going to be reprising the character that she plays in Doctor Strange movies. If so, that does set up a pretty good reason for Doctor Strange to not like Ghost Rider. Just saying.
I hate
Start
you
to see the beginnings of Civil War II here. And I love especially the touch that her flesh is beginning to
molt. Yeah,
that's great. Good stuff.
It's
I mean, oh wow, this Bob of the Old Ways seems very, very excited about what is this Rings of Power S3 season 3? I think that it means. So, but Bob, we can't show any teleporno on stream.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's yeah, like.
But let's learn about teleporno. There's a trailer out, right?
Yeah, I can screen share it if you want.
I got it. I'm just got
Okay.
My YouTube's open right now. Rings of Power season 3. I have not watched this either for some reason. But I'm glad because now I get to react to it here live with you fine folks.
Yay!
Definitely a pretty powerful thumbnail image there. The very recognizable crown.
It's a fun hat.
I wonder what that guy's doing wearing Sauron's hat. We got to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Now is the mighty hour come.
There he is.
Brink of crafting enough power. One ring to rule them all.
Said
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing.
She's kind of wait. I'm trying to remember where was she last we saw.
They opened. They like settled that valley. That's going to be Rivendell in a
Gonna be
minute.
Rivendell.
Yeah.
Very
The Valley of Imladris, which will become Rivendell one day.
Army scouring Middle-earth. Middle-earth will burn.
Is that fucking Nazgul?
Yes.
That's fucking.
Although
Nazgul.
they're not the Nazgul yet because they're not wraiths yet, which I think is really interesting.
Cool. I just wasn't expecting that visual at all. It's like, whoa.
Has it not yet occurred to you? Death might well be the price of saving it.
Trying to get
Oh no.
Is that her brother?
It's her husband.
I mean, her husband, rather?
Her husband. Yeah.
So he's not dead.
No.
Or is he?
We can. There's much to discuss, but no, he's not dead.
Oh shit, that's a lot of fuckers. Let's see what happens.
It's a lot of fuckers. Yep.
There are no friends of Mordor here.
Come with me.
The Dark Lord.
So, who is that? They makes friends with an orc? What's going on there?
It looks that way, yeah.
That's crazy.
That can't be canon. This ruins Tolkien's vision. I've been
The
told.
orcs are supposed to represent black people. I mean, they're supposed to be bad guys. You know?
Damn it.
We have to stop him. The shadow rises to Middle-earth. How would you like to rise with it?
That's just one ring. That is like one ring.
Just the one.
Mm-hmm.
Just
the one. Yeah.
What is it to do? You know,
it's to bring peace to Middle Earth, of course.
I'm sure, of course. What else would it be for, Dane? Why would you? What a silly question you're asking about that one ring.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's like the day after, or same day as a Blade Runner.
I think it's the next day. Yeah,
That's crazy. They're putting those two shows out at one time. Maybe
and they're releasing.
Sorry,
they're releasing this show over the course of I think just 3 weeks, multiple episodes each week. So I think they're trying to clear the schedule for something like maybe they don't want to compete with the Harry Potter show that's coming out that nobody seems to care about anyway.
Yeah. Did the Harry Potter show even show up at Comic-Con?
I don't know, but it's scheduled to come out on HBO, I think, in November.
That might have something to do with it, but I think just like in terms of their own what the metrics of what they're trying to do, I bet they're counting on that boosting their numbers in a shorter window of time, so that because a lot of people are going based off of that very specific type of measurement now, where it's like hours watched in a week or whatever, and it's like this type of show just is gonna look bad compared to The Simpsons or Seinfeld or some shit every single time.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. It's
So
definitely an economic decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amazon has already kind of started to switch some shows to be like an old school Netflix style, drop it all at once, let God sort them out.
Well, I mean, it also could be just that this season in particular could be structured in such a way that it just is going to be, I don't know, get people talking more to see, the things happen in a couple episodes at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the discourse comes and goes faster now, and very few people are talking about the new thing for more than 2 or 3 weeks, really. So maybe they're trying to squeeze into that as well. But there's a lot to chew on in this trailer that I found really intriguing, not least of which is we're finally getting teleporno, which is the alternate name for Galadriel's husband, Celeborn.
Sounds like the best kind of.
Also the best kind of born. And it's been an interesting discussion or speculation for fans of the show because there's no adaptation rights reason why Celeborn could not have been in the show from the beginning, because he is in the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So everyone's been wondering why the fuck is he not in the show? So they obviously had something planned for him.
Right.
And I hope it's interesting.
I hope so too.
Because he should have been, according to the lore, he should have been leading the fight in Eregion against the forces of Sauron last season. And at this point in the official lore, he and Galadriel have already had a daughter named Celebrian, who is barely mentioned in any Tolkien source. But
yeah.
So I've just been curious what they've been holding back this character for. And it looks like he's been imprisoned by Sauron somehow.
Probably.
But in the show, she thinks he's dead.
Oh, does she? I must have missed that.
Yeah.
It's somewhere along the line. That would explain a lot.
It was in season 1 where she explained in some exposition that part of the reason she joined the war is because he never came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that because like a lot of her motivation, a lot of the source of her anger rather is because her brother is dead.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
And then like her husband was like her source of happiness and all that stuff during the war.
Right.
And then he went off to war and never came back. So she thinks he's dead. So
she's going to go off to war and yeah.
Yeah. And the ring wraiths, from what I've read in this show, are not ring wraiths yet. They're just like men, humans who have the power of the rings that they're wearing.
Are they
And
going to be
so-
kings or otherwise?
Yes, one of them is actually named, and they have. So the show dove into the languages of Middle Earth and came up with a new word to describe these guys, which means ring servant.
Ooh.
Instead of ring wraith, and it's called the Nazgûl. And
interesting.
Yeah, and we saw an Oliphant, like the giant elephants in there, and we saw.
Unfortunately,
we did not see any.
The Oliphant, so not proper representation yet. Sorry, bad joke.
We did not see any of the hobbits, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like.
Well, they're not hobbits yet.
True.
I feel like that story can sit for a minute.
It could. I really would be fine with them not. They could come back, like maybe meet up with them again, see what they're up to later in the season, and be like a nice, like, oh, there they are.
Because like they show Gandalf in the trailer.
Yeah, doesn't see them at all. It seems like he's going to be doing some wizard shit now that he knows who the fuck he is. For it's because that other dark wizard was there a couple times in the trailer. So
yeah.
So one of the 9 kings who becomes the ring wraiths, Tolkien only ever named one of them.
Right.
It wasn't in the Lord of the Rings. It was out in other sources, but his name was Khamul, and he was a king of, I believe, of Rhûn, which is the land that Gandalf is in right now, or at least was in at the end of season 2. And Khamul is the ring wraith who chased the hobbits in Lord of the Rings to the bridge at Buckleberry Ferry. And
eventually gets, depending on whether you're watching the book or the movie, owned in different ways.
Yes. So they're bringing a lot more lore into this show, and it looks to me like they're Amazon is like slowly, season by season, negotiating for access to more and more stuff that isn't in the book, The Lord of the Rings. So they're trying
a good way to do it. Yeah, like, all right, we did this to your satisfaction. Can we push a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're a Tolkien fan who would like to see an adaptation one day of something like The Fall of Gondolin, or The Children of Húrin, or The Tale of Beren and Luthien, or The War of Wrath, or anything like that, you should be backing Amazon and Rings of Power, because they have the best chance of getting any of that shit done.
Yeah. Because I don't think any of the I don't think the Tolkien Estates relationship with the New Line company is going to improve anytime soon.
No.
They hate them. Oh, go ahead, Dane.
I was gonna riff on the Amazon Prime thing, but if we can talk more about
Oh, what do you got on Amazon Prime? No, I want to hear that.
Well, I was just gonna say that, like, as far as which streaming platform has put out the most consistently, high level, high quality, entertaining stuff that I'm interested in, and turns out pretty well, I think Amazon Prime might be it. Like Disney put out a lot of stuff. A lot of it typically I'm ostensibly interested in, but not all of it turns out where I'm super happy with it.
Yeah.
But then also HBO Max was doing a lot of good shit for a while there. Like they were the ones that early on I was like, they're a contender for best streaming app, because they had like that show that got me when I first got into watching HBO Max, or that first came out maybe. They had Raised by Wolves. Did you see that, Bob?
Yes.
I fucking love that show. Love that show. It's just
but yeah, I agree. Amazon Prime and Apple TV
I was
are
about to
doing
say,
amazing shit.
And
Both
Apple
of them
TV,
making high quality shows.
One thing I'm kind of concernicus about is that we didn't see anything about Foundation at Comic-Con.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that I wouldn't expect it to be. We know they're doing the next season.
We know they're doing the next season.
So I think they're just taking their time. It's not the kind of show I'd expect to see every year, or even year and a half necessarily.
But I like it.
I like it a lot too, and it's just gotten better basically every season too.
It gets better and I also think that's kind of the opposite of the books. Like, I don't think that like Asimov's writing was bad by any stretch of the imagination, even though it's dated. But like, I remember reading the anthology that the story of the mule is in the first time, and I'm like, this is kind of whatever. And like, the adaptation of that story in the Foundation series is fantastic.
Yeah. Asimov was great at world building and future history. He's not great at characters and dialogue.
Yeah, he's good at
but
bird's eye view, big picture stuff. But
Yeah, which is cool.
he was
And
good
that's
at
made him hard to
mysteries, too.
adapt. Yeah.
Constructing mysteries. If you read his robot series featuring R. Daniel Olival, who is in Foundation, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know if they've revealed that or not yet, and I don't know why they would, because it wouldn't have any salience to people who aren't Asimov fans. But anyway,
they're going to.
Are we talking about the character that's in Foundation that is?
No, that's a different R. Daniel, but yes.
Oh.
There is a. Okay, this is major spoilers for Asimov's books, which are 50 years old.
So there's the character of what's her name?
Demerzel.
Demerzel, which is the basically the attendant to the Empire, the Imperial line, the genetic Empire. She's basically their hand servant essentially. She's there, but she's really running shit. You find out and she's been there for generations and generations of the same clone emperor. And turns out she is the seemingly only surviving robot in the galaxy. And that she was actually the one who in her previous life I think started like the robot rebellion.
Yes, and in Asimov's books, boy, we got off Rings of Power quick. That's funny. But in Asimov's books, he had 2 series running concurrently at the time he was writing them. He had the robot series and the Foundation series. And the robot series was like a bunch of detective stories featuring a robot named R. Daniel Olival and I think a human partner whose name I don't remember. And every story was about figuring out how a robot, some other robot, had managed to get around the
3 laws of
robotics and murder a human. And it turned out he eventually merged those 2 universes, and Demerzel, if I'm saying her name correct, is the same character. And it's like she's been there for 20,000 years or something.
Oh, wait, so it's also a gender change.
Yes, but it's a robot, so it doesn't matter. And
I think it does matter. I think robot gender matters very much, but in the sense that it doesn't matter,
as in the sense that they are a person. But yes, but yeah. So she or he in the book developed. There were 3 laws of robotics. You can look them up. But she developed the 0th law of robotics, which is that a robot cannot harm or by inaction allow to be harmed the entire human race, and that created wiggle room for a robot to do things that would violate the other 3 laws
as long as it preserves,
served the greater good.
So in the Foundation TV series, because they changed the role of the Emperor drastically from the books.
Okay.
The first Emperor, because there's not a genetic dynasty in the books. That's a thing from the show, which it's an improvement, to be honest.
Yes, much of that show is an improvement.
Yeah. The first Emperor subverted her programming, where effectively the only definition of human that matters is the Emperor.
Yeah, that's kind of cringe.
And so effectively, like, while she's ruling the Empire because all of the clones are effectively raised by her and under her direction, and she's done a lot of things to manipulate them.
Right. She's also genetically changed them, I think, right?
Yeah. She's also she can't violate the directives of the first Emperor because of the changes he made to her programming. So she's also a slave. Anyways, Rings of Power. Rings of Power.
Let me ask. I just wanted to ask, what are the creatures, the beings, I don't know what, that were teased at the end of the last season of Foundation that were gonna
I don't want to speculate too much because it could be a few different things.
Okay, never mind. Cool.
And I haven't seen that season yet, so I have no idea.
Look, we got another poster already for Ghost Rider, guys. Wow.
Anyway, the character of Teleporno is coming to Rings of Power, and it's cool. So for those who don't know,
porno music.
I think that there's going to be a lot of memes floating around when word gets out to the wider public that Celeborn's name in another elven language translates to teleporno.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to love
or is
seeing
it
them
the other
memes.
one?
It's Telerin. So
Telerin,
in
okay.
Sindarin, which is the default elven language.
Teleporno makes me think of how like a Spanish soap opera is a telenovela, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's so it's like a very over dramatic porn in Spanish, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Clearly.
There's going to be a lot of anyway, he's being played by the actor who played Vecna in Stranger Things.
Nice.
And
who got a lot of direction and guidance from Robert Englund, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
the events we're going to be seeing in this season is the War of the Elves and Sauron. So we're going to be seeing they're going to start pulling all the different threads together. The first two seasons were like the Númenóreans were doing their own thing, the elves were doing their own thing, etc. And this is the war that starts pulling them all together. So we're probably going to be seeing Elendil meet Gil-galad and the Númenóreans allying with the elves. Well, we are going to see that because they're doing that story, and we're going to be seeing the rise of the Nazgul. And I'm super excited about it.
You know, Vizier Dick Nozzle from Numenor is going to be a ring wraith, right?
Yeah, probably. That's a prediction I have too.
Yeah, like that guy. Nobody has been more ring wraith than that guy.
Yeah, and they're doing there's one person who's been more ring wraith worthy than him, which is his son.
Yeah. True.
There's also going to be apparently a 5-year time jump.
Good.
So a lot of the character relationships are going to be jumbled around. I suspect that Elrondir, our boy, the elfiest elf who ever elfed,
He's a very elfy elf,
is going to be in a relationship with Galadriel.
Ooh.
And there's going to be a love triangle between her and Teleporno and Elrondir. That's my prediction.
That's your prediction, huh?
Because I can't really see what else they would do with him.
Sure. Okay.
He was kind of just there.
Yeah.
For season 2, kind of unfettered, like they didn't know what to do with him, and they ended up season 2 with him in the inner circle with Gil-galad and Galadriel. So he's going to be spending a lot of time with Galadriel over the next 5 years.
Oh, god damn it! Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Well, I just encountered a thumbnail and video that pisses me off. I'm sorry. I'm going to expose you all to this.
Oh,
no.
Oh no.
Over here on the right.
Oh boy.
So I'm pretty sure that there's no handguns in the Odyssey. Is that correct?
You are correct.
Okay.
I don't think the crossbow's been invented yet, so we're a ways away from handguns.
Well, there's a lot of anachronisms in the movie, so
yeah, that's fair.
There's just a guy on a cell phone in the background at one point.
What's funny is in one of the cuts of the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings, you can see a car going by in the background.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not uncommon in big.
And a little known fact:
like
if you look real careful, you got to be real careful and like pause it and like go frame by frame. There's a Starbucks cup in the final season of Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, I think they edited it out, but there
right
was
there in the middle, you can see it clear as day. It's fucking crazy.
It's great. I love that.
In the original Ben-Hur, the Roman character is wearing a wristwatch in one of the scenes, right? There's like
I love that
unintentional things like that all over the place.
Yeah,
anyway,
I love that.
The point is,
I have kind of gone against the grain of saying that I didn't think it was as bad as some people like to say, but as far as that goes, I think that is pretty unforgivable. Just for getting a coffee cup, like when you're putting on that kind of production, it's just come on, man. But I mean, I think they have it digitally in every context that they could.
Yeah.
So,
anyways.
Yep.
So anyway, I think I can't see what else. Getting back to Rings of Power, I can't see what else they would do with Elrondir, with him ending up where he is. Because he didn't really have very much to do in season 2 except wander from one place to another. And they got to give him something to chew on, and
like
there's
get
no,
familiar
there's very
with other
little,
characters. Yeah,
there's very little drama to be milked from reuniting Galadriel with her husband, unless there's some romantic rival involved. At least I don't think so.
All right.
So I think that's what they're going to do with that character.
Away from Rings of Power, because I don't know who the hell we're talking about anymore. I have a lot of characters I still don't identify by name, just by who they are and what they do, like what they look like and what they do.
that's why he's the elfiest elf that ever elfed.
Arondir is the black elf.
He's the black elf, yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
But he is Elfman, attorney at Elf.
Yeah. Like even people who don't like the show have
what?
Even people who don't like the show, many people, not all of them, have praised that character as the most Tolkien thing the show has done.
Yeah.
The most Tolkien new thing the show has done.
Why is it?
Because he's the elfiest elf who ever elfed. He like embodies elfishness like better than any other elf actor on that show.
Like he comes off to me like kind of like a Legolas 2.0 kind of thing.
But Legolas doesn't say or do anything.
And and Legolas was also the elfiest elf who ever elfed. So they are definitely trying to invoke Legolas,
playing the role of the Legolas.
He's Legolas if Legolas got things like dialogue and character development. Things
Instead
that
of
are
just,
not present.
just stand there and look pretty. Okay, you know. Well, because they have been very successful as far as white nationalists, white supremacists, dog whistles, and not even just openly. They've been very successful because a lot of Lord of the Rings fans are, and I imagine that many of the ones that are part of this, subgroup are older, like as far as like middle age maybe, and so they're, were probably people that weren't even necessarily like prior to this maybe openly hatefully racist in some cases, but this type of thing is the exact kind of thing that you're able to get somebody that has unprocessed biases and unrealized prejudices and stuff that if you can get them pissed off, riled up about something like this and make them see some kind of reason to why this is not okay that they're doing this in Lord of the Rings, then it's a really fucking apparently good way to get the foot in the door with some folks. Because I definitely think that this is there's some of them that I've seen like, it's been a while. I've got some screenshots somewhere, but like I found a group of these people one time that was like, they seem to be, I hate to say it, kind of liberally, like kind of lib shit. And the way they were arguing about what they're saying was surprising to me because it's like not arguments I'd seen before in any other context. That's why I was really glad to see Bob come along and start talking about this stuff in his videos because, it's not my strong suit as far as Lord of the Rings lore. I do love Lord of the Rings, but I don't retain a lot of the minutia like I do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
it's also because the Lord of the Rings itself is very traditionally conservative coded.
Yeah.
Not fascist coded, because there's a difference.
There's a big
traditional kind of conservative
but it's
very Brit coded,
small c conservative.
Whereas American stuff like Marvel Comics and stuff like that it's very pretty clear that it's never been about just white people or whatever.
Right.
It's harder to harder to make the case, but I mean it's easier for bad faith people to make it seem like that's all Lord of the Rings is supposed to be.
The Lord of the Rings is like a dream of an English mythology to rival Beowulf or the Iliad or the Odyssey. Like that's what Tolkien's aspiration was to create something like that specifically for the English people. So it's very pastoral, it's very Christian, it's very in a medieval sort of way. Like a lot of it is extremely medieval in its aesthetic and its morality, and so it naturally draws people of that inclination, conservative, traditionalist, that sort of stuff, and those people are very easy to radicalize.
Yeah,
because they're almost all the way there anyway.
And what's interesting about the flavor of conservatism that Lord of the Rings is, because it's heavily into pastoralism. It's very anti-industrial, which is not something you expect from a modern conservative. Just don't point that out to modern conservative Tolkien fans. They get all weird about it.
Which you know, we're gonna get real deep into that once we start up the podcast again.
Oh, that's gonna be tasty. Tasty.
We're a few episodes on that, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna be there a while. Yeah.
But it's also very implicitly monarchist, right?
Yeah.
And there's just a whole lot of like coding to that Tolkien didn't necessarily intend, but he was constitutionally a very traditional person, a traditionalist person, a pastoralist person. And he baked all of that very devoutly Catholic, and he baked all of that into the story. So then you put on, Viggo Mortensen on screen doing manly man things. It's just gonna cement the image of the white king rising up against the dark masses, invading from a foreign land to save white Christian civilization.
I mean,
and there you go.
As long as you don't think about it too hard.
At this point, there's only like two kinds of people over, that are like, you either are just like a fan of the celebrity bullshit as far as that stuff goes, or you fucking hate the monarchy, right?
I think the last poll I heard about was like something like slightly more than 50% of Brits want to abolish the monarchy and redistribute their wealth.
That'd be great to see in their life. Like when you start looking at all the shit that they pay for, that gets paid for by taxes for these people, it's insane.
It's bananas. Yeah.
I mean, it's, we got some bad stuff that we pay for over here, as far as comforts for these people that don't deserve any comfort. But that's like they don't even do anything there. They're not even, at least even our Congress doesn't do anything, right? But like they're supposed to, theoretically they could.
They could at any time. Remember, they do have a day job. Yeah.
Monarchy, however, there's nothing. They're fucking no point. Just like keep fucking their cousins and diluting. I mean, like making the gene pool thicker.
Speaking of elected representatives, no one's heard from in a while. Anyone hear from Mitch? Has anyone had an exactly 20-minute conversation with him in the last little bit? Or
I did. I talked to him for 20 minutes and 17.
Oh, cool.
He said he's doing great. He said that he thinks all the memes are really funny. Guys, keep it up. He's having a good time with those. He's really helping him with his healing cycle.
Good.
And he can't wait to be dead on August 4th. So.
Right. He's looking forward to moving to the third layer of hell.
The governor of Kentucky, I think it's whatever state he's from, has said he has never heard from Mitch McConnell since.
Yeah, I think he could be doing more. He's that guy sucks. I think Bashir, fuck that guy. I mean, I know he's a Democrat, and his people talked about him running for president. I hope he doesn't. Fuck him.
I have. Well, I like him more than Gavin Newsom.
Like when you think about the stuff if you think about what would Mitch McConnell do in this situation, or even the Republicans in general, there's so many things that like we could do, even knowing that they probably won't work, but like still try doing a thing. You know what I mean? Like say you're gonna, call a vote, just fucking put Lindsey Graham's goddamn sister in her fucking office. Come on, man, just do something.
So that's not that weird. To finish out a dead senator's term, like often it'll be someone like a spouse. That's not that unusual.
I've never heard of it, but I mean, I guess the spouse makes.
Oh yeah, sense. It's been done before.
It's been done before. Yeah, like that. I know a lot of people made hay out of that, but that's actually probably the most normal thing about Lindsey Graham's term as senator.
Why did they could have gotten that sex worker instead? That would have been great. I've been fucking totally down with that.
I agree.
Trans sex worker. She's got like a whole bag business she's doing where she's making bags and stuff too.
That's an entrepreneur. Works 2 jobs, real go-getter. Yeah, no.
Pulls herself up by her bootstraps and all that.
And his bootstraps by the sound of it.
Speaking of, I'm not going to say that on stream. I'll tell you guys about it later, but something about Oliver. Anyway, so real quick, because I do got to get out of here soon. Absolute DC Universe, since it was brought up, is introducing in the Flash the Teen Titans. They're together.
Interesting.
And we got a first look at Mr. Vic Stone himself here, and it's
is it body horror? Please tell me it's body horror.
Oh yeah.
fuck, let's go.
Wow, that's pretty
He's
cool.
also, I mean, maybe it's just like because it's a picture taken of it, like he's very, very black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's cool. That's fine with
That's
that.
good. Yeah. No, I like that.
Notable. That
Oh, that's not intended to be a silhouette?
I don't know. No,
No, I don't
full
think
screen
so.
this. I'm not looking at it full screen. Let me.
It's also a photo of like a screen, so it could be
Oh,
just
okay.
a weird color thing that's happening there. But like, you know, either way.
Yeah, that's cool looking. Fuck yeah, let's go.
This is Adam. This is absolute Adam right here.
Oh.
And then this is, I guess, also him. Yeah.
Huh. Well, unfortunately, that might mean I have to read Ultimate Flash again, and that's kind of unfortunate because I really didn't vibe with that one.
I mean, they're the lowest sellers of the couple, but yeah.
But I think that introducing
right.
the Titans is a good way to revitalize that. No, I think that's a good idea instead of abandoning
So they're
it.
introducing the absolute Teen Titans in Absolute Flash.
Yeah, kind of like a character or two at a time, it seems like, and then they're gonna build
Okay.
up the team kind of.
Yeah,
Like
trying
they
to boost up
introduced
the
the
sales of
Suicide-
Absolute Flash.
Yeah, they
I would
introduced
assume
the.
that-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I would assume they wouldn't bring the Titans together before they bring together like whatever they're gonna call the Justice League.
Well, no, we have the Justice League.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not the evil fucking people that go up to the name. But like, yeah. So all this is going to be building, by the way, to Absolute Crisis, of course.
Yeah, Absolute Crisis. And before Absolute Crisis, we're getting the Batman of Two Worlds.
And I think Dark Side versus everybody or some shit like that is another thing that's going to happen.
Well, I just hope the Absolute Universe follows through on the promise to make the Teen Titans the
hold on, this is
the
huge.
flagship.
What's up?
Editor
Let me
in
finish
chief,
my thought.
He seems to have quit. He's no longer
Yeah.
down as Marvel's editor in chief. I didn't know this. Fuck.
Yeah, that was that. I heard about that a couple weeks ago, actually. Just
Steve Wacker is now Marvel's new editor in chief. I mean, that's good because Cebulski had some shit that he never answered for, and it was kind of
he was a controversial EIC, both as EIC and before he was EIC. So I know.
Oh my god, look what they're doing! They're doing it again. This is literally what I mean. Not that again, but like, so the thing with Cebulski was when he was a younger guy, just gotten into comics and Marvel in particular, he was kind of responsible for, I guess, marketing to or creating content. I don't remember exactly, but it's something to do with with Asian Marvel content.
Yeah.
Right. And he started without anybody knowing this, seemingly. So allegedly, nobody at Marvel knew this either, but I don't know if that's true. But he started kind of doing moonlighting as another guy named what was it, Akira Toriyama? I think.
No, that's the creator of Dragon Ball.
But it was Akira something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Akira something pretty obvious, like that's just a white guy made up a Japanese name kind of thing. And he pretended to be that guy because there was some type of thing about like you couldn't. Oh, because he was an editor, but he wanted to write too, and there was a rule. I don't know if there's still
you
is.
couldn't do
can't
that.
be both.
Yeah.
You can't be a writer and an editor at Marvel, and so he was doing both. And then he apparently did that whole, for several years, and I don't know that anybody ever found out that he got any trouble for it or anything. But eventually he stopped doing it, and then he eventually became editor-in-chief at Marvel. And that was just something that was never addressed or dealt with or whatever. He, I think he had some hand in the whole Psylocke thing, which is weird. The Psylocke being a British woman that then becomes a British woman inside of a Japanese woman's body, and all of that. And
swap bodies weird. For a while. Yeah.
It's like, what?
And now swap bodies for like 20 years, but
a long time. They didn't fix that until
Krakoa. Right before Krakoa.
She became regular Psylocke right before that because she is in that storyline that I like a lot. That's Wolverine and X-Men disassembled. Yeah. She is back to being Betsy in that because I remember they make some comments about it and stuff. So nonetheless, he's now shifting to Marvel Asia Originals in Tokyo.
Well, that's on the nose.
It is a little on the nose. That makes me think that they're just like, yeah, we're going to keep going on like this never happened. We're not going to address it or how problematic it is.
Okay, Marvel.
whatever, man. Think he didn't want to move to LA, so he went back to Japan.
Sure. Okay. Whatever, dude.
Akira Yoshida, that's it. Yep.
Which I think
wait,
is one
is
of
he-
those like two first names thing. Like,
Is he from Japan?
no, he's a white guy.
He's not Japanese at all.
I know that, but that doesn't preclude him being from Japan. He could be a white guy who grew up in Japan. I
No,
don't know
he's
his
not. I don't
background.
think he was.
And
No.
that's what I mean by he's not Japanese at all, Bob. Is he's not Japanese by nationality or
Okay.
you know, or
So why did he used to live in Japan?
No, he's
because
just
the
a
comment
weeb.
was he didn't want to. The comment was he didn't want to.
I think he
maybe I
did live
misread it.
He moved
He
to
didn't want
Japan
move
at
to
some
LA,
point.
so he went back to Japan. So I was trying to figure out if he ever actually lived there. Okay, he did
think
live in
he-
Japan for a while.
Yeah, I think he lived there for a while in between him pretending to be a Japanese guy and leaving Marvel. He lived in Japan for a while because
Why
he's
did
a
they
huge.
keep? Oh my god! Why
Yeah.
did they keep him after that came out?
He left Marvel. Like he left Marvel and came back to be EIC. He
and I don't
wasn't
think they
at
ever even
Marvel.
said they've never even confirmed this publicly, as far as I know, right? Marvel, they've never it's just a known thing, but I don't think it's ever been something where
There's
they're like,
been no like public knowledge of any ramifications.
so kind of wacky.
Well, at least he's not EIC anymore. Look, as long as they keep letting Gale do Uncanny, that's fine. Whatever. Anything else is just gravy.
I don't know how much we can blame him. I don't know how the editorial works anymore or anything. If how much direct influence they're having over individuals, departments that have their own editors or anything. But
Yeah, I have no
I would
idea.
say that he hasn't been the best as far as what I've.
No, because he took over during the Krakoa era, and
And then it ended. So
and then it ended, and we had one really bad X-Men event after that, and I would say 1.5 really good X-Men books when we had lots of good X-Men books.
So wow, his name is Chester Bror, Bror, Chester Bror Cebulski. Wow, that's the name. So yeah, so let's see. Real quick, just to make sure we got all this right, I'm going to recap it because it is interesting. In 2002, Marvel announced that C.B. Cebulski, who had worked as a consultant for their Marvel Mangaverse line, had been hired as a full-time associate editor. Cebulski had lived in Japan for several years, spoke fluent Japanese, and had good working relationships with Japanese creatives. Marvel was interested in reaching out to an international talent and valued Cebulski's background as an asset, even calling him CB-san in their press release.
Oh my god!
What a weeb. Cebulski worked at Marvel, overseeing several notable projects, including the hit Runaways, up until 2006, when he resigned to pursue freelancing work. One notable Japanese writer who worked for Marvel during that time was Akira Yoshida, who quickly rose to prominence around 2004-2005 as one of Marvel's young guns. Yoshida grew up in Japan and was an avid reader of manga. His father, an international businessman, often took him on trips to the U.S., and Yoshida fell in love with the American superhero comics, even learning English that way. In 2003, he wrote comics for the publisher Dark Horse and caught the eye of editors at Marvel. So he was already doing Akira Yoshida at Dark Horse first. Yoshida quickly became one of Marvel's most prolific writers, writing several miniseries, including Thor, Son of Asgard, Elektra the Hand, Wolverine, Soul Taker, X-Men, Age of Apocalypse, and X-Men Kitty Pryde, Shadow of the Flame. Many of these comics were set in Japan, and Marvel was delighted to have an authentic Japanese creator who could take to an American audience.
Let me take a big drink of water.
And then not many public appearances, seemingly none at the conventions. He had no photos, and any correspondence with him was done remotely. By 2006, he vanished from the comics industry just as quickly as he disappeared. The reason for that, C.B. Cebulski and Akira Yoshida were the same person. The Art of Vandalay is how this is titled. You see, CB-san got hired. There was a rule at Marvel that editors weren't allowed to write, either for Marvel or rival publishers. The company wanted to make an effort to recruiting new talent, particularly overseas, and they especially didn't want editors just hiring each other to write, creating a cycle of nepotism. Fair enough. CB-san wanted to do some writing of his own, so he created the alter ego Akira Yoshida and made pitches to various comic publishers as a freelancer. He published work. So it's a whole con he did.
Yeah.
That like
So
it wasn't like he did
why
that.
was he EIC in the first place after all this?
I don't know. I think I remember being kind of a topic of conversation when
It was
happened.
topic of conversation. Like, what? Yeah, back when he was made EIC, it was one of those things that, like, wait, this guy's kind of he's kind of a piece. But what are we gonna do, right?
So Cebulski did not pull off the perfect deception. That would be inaccurate to say, but though he did catch a few lucky breaks. Rumors did swirl around that Yukari Yoshida was a pseudonym for someone working at Marvel. Brian Cronin of Comic Book Resources, oh man, I hope they're not about to break Cronin's reputation for me, investigated this rumor as part of the Comic Book Urban Legends Revealed column and found that the editor Mike Martz recounted having lunch with Yoshida. According to Martz, they had a delightful time. Martz found Yoshida to be a very nice man with an impressive Godzilla memorabilia collection. Satisfied with the story, Cronin considered the rumor to be effectively debunked. I mean, I guess if somebody's willing to lie for him to that degree, then what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
In 2017, rumors resurfaced when former Marvel employee Greg Shigiel recorded a podcast spilling the beans on some behind-the-scenes stories at Marvel. He alleged that there was an editor who moonlighted as a writer from another country to do freelance work during a period when editors were dissatisfied with upper management. He also claimed that some of the bosses were aware of the deception and covered it up. He used fake names based on the West Wing characters for all persons involved, but some folks like Rich Johnson of Bleeding Cool began to put two and two together. Then in November, the dam broke. Cebulski, who had gone back to work for Marvel, had just been announced as Marvel's new editor-in-chief, replacing Axel Alonso as the guy that angry comic book readers were to blame for everything that they don't like. David Brothers, brand manager at Image Comics, tweeted out that Cebulski was indeed Akira Yoshida. This news made waves in comic fandom. Fans on social media, comics journalists immediately revisited Yoshida's old works to find the so-called authentic Japanese writing was not so authentic after all. There seems to be some examples here. We're not going to look those today, but I am going to look at them. So yeah, that's wow. I think Marvel, somebody, at least one or two people above him had to know.
Right.
They just had to. There's no way that this would have gone on like that. Especially with the calling him Cebulski-san or CB-san beforehand.
Yeah, they knew.
That's
obviously cultural appropriation and just like existing in that role for several years, keeping Marvel, people, maybe the people that didn't know, maybe talent scouts didn't know, but they're thinking, well, we've got a really good Japanese writer already, so maybe we don't need any more, kind of thing. Like almost certainly happened at some point.
Well, this is why I'm happy to be in a very Chinese time of my life, because China isn't nearly as popular as Japan is, apparently. So there's a lot less of this bullshit going on.
Oh my God. So as for the guy that Mike Martz had lunch with, turns out he was a Japanese translator who had been visiting the Marvel offices at the time. Personally, this writer of this post likes to think that Mike really did just pull a stranger aside to have lunch with and had such a good time that he never realized he was talking to the wrong guy.
Oh,
it makes for a great sitcom plot.
I'll give him that.
Christ almighty, man. Wow. Well, good. Fuck off. Go to Japan, I guess, and do whatever you're gonna do there.
Yeah.
Just
All right, back to Japan with you.
Marvel. Fucking
Marvel.
It's hard being a fan.
Yeah, they don't make it easy.
It is technically, it is definitely I don't have any idea how much he wrote about himself in this way, but almost certainly a good bit. He was essentially cosplaying a Japanese person.
Yep.
On the internet.
And professionally.
And kind of catfishing in a way,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not in a sexual, dating way, but just like it's weird and gross. They just announced some of the Marvel manga stuff. That's what I was going to get to as well, is that they did at the same time, Marvel Comics launch a new manga line in Japan.
Yep.
So I guess they finally realized we need some of that manga money.
Good.
This is like the third or fourth time that Marvel's tried this.
This is not their first rodeo trying manga.
And let's see who they got. Oh, they got CB-san.
Oh wow, weird. Right as he stepped down from editor. That's
apparently the only guy they know or can find that just understands anything about Japan or manga or anything.
Yeah.
Peach Momoko writes for them.
It's not like there's plenty of manga writers in Japan they could reach out to and say, hey, Marvel wants to expand into this market. Can you help us?
I have to imagine one, because the manga industry makes the American big two comic industry look like a mom and pop shop that likes their customers and their workers and pays a living wage. They are almost all certainly under non-competes.
The Japanese don't care. So you're speaking for all of Japanese fans when you say this. That's cool. I didn't know they gave you that permission. That's good to know, though.
Yeah, like there is no shot you would get a big name mangaka to do an American comic book or a manga for an American comic book company.
Fair enough, but there's got to be Japanese writers and artists who aren't attached to anything, who are like they got the hustle and they're looking for their opportunity, and they could. It would be easy to find people. Japanese people is what I'm saying. They don't have to rely on this dude.
I get what you're saying. I mean,
I agree. That they don't need to rely on this dude. No, they should be able to get other talent. But I think if
that's true, the Peach Momoko came via CB Swelsky. That's cool. That's great, and that is a positive thing. Even though it's not my preferred type of art generally, I do see the talent and I recognize that. But I still don't think that negates things, really.
Yeah. Like it can both be true that he is the one that brought Peach into the Marvel fold.
Bill Cosby brought smiles to families' households every night for years.
Right.
And years.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think CB is that bad.
No, I'm not. No, the details are. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I know.
The same principle applies.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to show this. I've screen recorded these few images. Spaceballs, the new one.
Yeah, I love this.
Spaceballs, the Schwartz Awakens, and Spaceballs, the I can't see, it's too small. And then you got Winnebago Nights, and then Super Duper Secret Wars, and then Dark Helmet Origins, a Spaceball story. Dark Helmet Origins 2, even younger. Dark Helmet Origins 3, youngest. Probably Dark Helmet. It's probably going to be made. Where it all began. And then you got over here on the side, you got the animated series.
Sure. Yeah.
2008. Some days, please stop. Time is a flat circle. Yeah, that's true. They probably got to remind themselves that now and then.
The one you couldn't read is Spaceballs, the franchise menace.
I love that.
It should change pages here in a second. Let's see.
Well.
Yep, even more. Look, they're just getting started. You got the yogurt movie.
Or 7.
The Mog Origin. Thank God. Heroes of Druidia. Rogue Dumb. Spaceball for kids. Spaceballs versus Spaceballs. Whole, yeah. And then they're going to do Spaceballs versus Spaceballs versus Spaceballs. Of course. What else would you do? Enough is enough. Enough is never enough. And then look, they've clearly got all this all mapped pretty intricately up there in the corner. Phase 5, maybe 7.
Yeah. I mean, Phase 3 also might be Phase 6.
Finally, we get the Lone Star movie there. It seems like that could have come out earlier, but look, they know what they're doing. I trust them.
I love the note at the end. It says maybe all of these happen at the same time.
And then one more here.
Can I admit something to the internet that will never be used against me? Spaceballs doesn't age well.
Really?
Yeah, I agree.
Really, no.
I mean, I find a lot of like those older, kind of satirical parody type things. There is a certain age on them, regardless, if you're not watching it when it came out. But I remember thinking that it was kind of aged when I was a little kid watching it.
Yeah,
that's part of it's the charm for me in some ways.
That's fair. Like I feel like
I will confess something even worse, Morgan.
You don't like it?
I never thought it was funny outside of a few individual jokes.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I get it.
To be fair, that is what, when I think of Spaceballs, I don't overall think of just having a great time laughing. I think of very specific jokes.
It's very there's a very specific number of bits,
and a lot of them aren't really like even Star Wars specific.
Right.
It's like, just stuff like I don't know. We've gone plaid, that kind of thing. I guess it is Star Wars specific to a degree.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Combing the desert, that kind of stuff.
She doesn't look Druish,
right?
And then nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Oh, she's a base.
But like I watched a few Mel Brooks movies over the last couple of years again, and like that is the one that stood out to me as like this does not hold up as well as the others.
Yeah,
like Robin Hood Men. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's very much of its time.
Yeah, like Robin Hood Men in Tights has a lot of that too.
I think maybe the thing is this: when you like the yogurt scene where yogurt shows all the merch and stuff, that's just how everything is.
That's just real life, yeah. And that was real life when that movie came out, because we were already into the Super Star Wars merchandising.
Yeah, well, that's what they were making fun of, but like they didn't, it just would have been absurd to think that all the movie properties would start doing stuff like that. But here we are, where everything has a million everythings. Yeah. I wish Mel Brooks had been able to do, like maybe a Marvel thing, like a superhero parody, and with that same kind of energy that he did with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Men in Tights in a long time. That one doesn't hold up either.
I would say it holds up better than Spaceballs does, but like there's a few moments that are like,
and that's weird because Men in Tights is largely just a parody of the Kevin Costner movie.
Costner, right? Yeah.
So it's not even like as perennial as making fun of the entire Robin Hood mythos. It's just a specific movie they're making fun of.
Yeah.
And Spaceballs is that too, but Star Wars is bigger than just one movie. So it's weird that Spaceballs, I haven't watched either of them in a long time, but it's weird to me to hear you say that Men in Tights aged better than Spaceballs did.
Yeah, and that's just my subjective opinion. I will say the objective opinion I have on this matter is that Young Frankenstein is the best movie he did, and I will fight anyone to the death.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Tights to me is really special just because I oddly fucking loved that movie, Prince of Thieves, when it came out. Like, it was just, I was at the age I was at was like I had just realized I fucking love movies. So like I was probably like 9 or 10 or some shit, and I'd seen a couple. I don't know what I'd seen recently, maybe the Terminator, but like I finally had like my first, or had my first experience of like, this is just a fantastic. I don't know how I thought of it. I definitely didn't conceptualize it this way, but like I just understood that movies were a great thing and I was going to love them. And so that came out, and I was just like, oh, it's so good, fucking what's his name?
Alan Rickman.
Yes, Alan Rickman. I was trying to think of his last name. I kept thinking Richmond. But yeah, Alan Rickman. I remember him fucking just being like, "Oh, that's so cool. He's so good."
Well, he was. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
For all of its faults, and it has many, it is a fun movie. And I thought Morgan Freeman was a great addition.
Yep.
And because of him, and only because of him, and because of that role, almost every adaptation of Robin Hood since then has had a character like that.
Yeah.
He was the first one, so he broke that ground.
When I was a kid, I didn't know what they meant when they said the painted man. Because he also has some very like notable like freckles or something on it, on his face, and that's what I thought they were referring to. Because I just didn't understand that they were probably talking about just being a black guy,
Yeah, it depends heavily on the idea that white English people during the Crusades would never have seen a black person before.
They're like there's land connecting these regions that.
Well, not England. England's an island, right?
Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you think about it, it's plausible that like the peasants would never have actually seen a black person before, but
right.
There were black merchants traveling Europe.
It wasn't the most outrageous, like literally couldn't have conceived it before they saw one type of thing. I imagine. I'm sure that there was the idea of different colored people existed.
There's
because they probably saw Italians
and books from the period,
right,
depicting black people in Europe doing like trade and romance and stuff like that. So I'm glad the movie included the fact that that character had body art of some kind, because it makes that a little less racist.
Yeah,
it makes it like kind of ambiguous. Are they talking about his tattoos or his skin? Right.
So I mean, and I also like it, just little things I didn't understand then, as far as like in the Arab regions, they'd already invented things like the spyglass and stuff like that. So whenever he's like hands him the little telescope and he's like trying to stab the horses and shit because he thinks they're right in front of him, that's pretty funny. It's
and that's what redeems that movie for me, anyways. That the Morgan Freeman character is obviously a like an Orientalist and kind of the racist,
but he's a
ringer character, but he's the ringer, right? So he's actually smarter than everybody,
right?
And his performance, he kind of like gives him some gravitas and stuff. So it sawed the edges off.
It's like the guy
that they were doing there.
Big Trouble in Little China in a way. But and then the look. I was a sucker for another thing that recently happened in my life. I'd gotten into music really heavily then. And so for a while there, before I found, like rock music is like my preferred genre, I was trying all kinds of stuff. And I really love that fucking Bryan Adams song, man.
And then you stopped doing music and hated music because it's hard to make, right?
It's really hard.
Full circle.
It's just so hard. It's not fun. I don't like it. If only there was something that I could, steal from everybody is willing to take the time to make music and put the effort in and practice and try, to create something, put themselves out there. If only there was some way I could just steal from them, smash it all together in a fucking algorithm and mix it up and just like shit out some fucking garbage that doesn't even have any emotion in it. That'd be great. That's what I want.
I have some good news for you.
Well, can it also kill the environment though? Because like that's please.
And really people.
Jesus. And no,
you can drive everyone you know and love insane.
That movie does not exist. We don't talk about that.
Oh my, that movie was dated when it came out.
There's actually a really compelling thing if you look into the history of this, like how those, like after the Scary movies, the first couple, and then kind of how Harvey Weinstein had his way with the genre, you guess you could say. How it went from like having some generally pretty stupid but at least mostly funny parodies and satire movies like that to just becoming a fucking factory of bullshit very quickly. It happened too. And I think that's a pretty compelling thing to look into if you're interested. What else we got? Anything?
At Comic-Con they announced a new Gundam show, but both of you are anime adverse weirdos, so I didn't bring anything for that.
I'm not averse to it. I just have never really been
but
interested.
I have to tease you. That's okay. The Aryan goddess, what's her nuts, from the Jeans commercial is in a live action Gundam movie Netflix is making that looks pretty bad.
Sydney Sweeney?
That's the Nazi, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Nazis think she's a Nazi. I don't know if she's a Nazi. I don't really care.
For a amount of time there, she was very, very willing to allow them to think that she was. Therefore, she's as functionally, at least, she did some damage there.
She might not be fascist, but she's fascish.
Because they still keep saying she should have been Helen of Troy.
Because,
oh my God.
Because Greeks are blonde. and the place where blonde people from is where compared to Greece versus Africa? Just like
what would blow their minds?
Get on a map.
What would blow their minds is that what they think of as Greek anyway, I don't even think would be the Greek of that time period. I think that there was like at least one, kind of a general ethnicity shakeup, I guess you could say.
There's like the concept of Greece.
The Greeks thought that the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, light-skinned people of the north were a bunch of stupid barbarians, and they fetishized the beauty of dark-skinned people from Africa. Like in the Odyssey, the king of Ethiopia, Memnon, is described as the handsomest man who ever lived. The Greeks were really into dark-skinned people, and they hated white people.
Right, because the barbarians were all up there, and they were brutish and didn't trade.
Yeah,
and they were big and scary.
And they all sounded like this: burr 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 burr, which is where the word barbarian comes from. They were mocking what they thought the language sounded like.
Yep. Because and like even by the time we get to like Alexander the Great, like Macedonia was barbarian country as far as the Greeks were concerned before he was like, we're doing this Hellenism thing, and you don't get a choice. Well, his dad started it; he finished it.
Couple of images that I meant to share that I'm going to pull those up here on the way out the door. One of them is Lord of the Rings. Even
Les Chocs.
And one of them I should have brought up earlier whenever that was relevant, but I didn't.
It happens.
What, me being disorganized? I don't agree with that.
It never happens.
Yeah, I reject this notion.
Okay.
Well, first and foremost, we got the new children's book of the year. I don't know. And then this one, if you're anything like me, I imagine because this meme exists, then there's probably some of you out there. I didn't realize it was such a thing, but it makes sense that I'm not the only one, and I'm not ashamed anymore. Okay.
Okay.
But
I don't even know the context for this, but it's funny just because of Allen wrenches. That's exactly
right. Because how many do you have?
I have that box at my workplace.
I think they took a picture of my box of Allen wrenches for this. Yeah. I mean, because everything comes with one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I also have a fucking tool that has like a bunch of them, just like it's like a Swiss Army tool kind of thing, and it's got like a bunch of different size ones in there that flip out of it.
So
I carry one of those because I ride a bicycle everywhere.
Yeah, you need one. Yeah.
I just learned not too long ago that there's like another name that they actually go by that
they're Allen wrenches.
What are you calling anything except don't disrespect Allen that way. Gee.
You're right. Read the wrench.
This man
is one wrench. This is his wrench.
And one thing, me and Oliver have like a running joke about Allen wrenches too, so he's gonna be delighted to see this as well.
Oh yay!
Yep. Well, sure was fun talking about some fun stuff, some stuff getting hyped about, and some stuff to, well, we didn't really talk about anything we're not looking forward to. It's almost like that doesn't come naturally.
I mean, I'm sure I could find something to complain about if you need me to, Dana.
Yeah,
that's my job here.
Can you imagine if anybody like just all they did was talk about stuff they don't like constantly? That'd be really weird.
Really, yeah.
It might come off.
I feel like that could be a big hit on YouTube. I know that sounds
probably
crazy.
Yeah. Anger sells on YouTube.
But
that's
sometimes
why we have 20 viewers, and they have 200.
So just real quick, I want to point out that a Critical Drinker, because they are so desperate with the Odyssey, little Odyssey follow up here, might be following up on it for a while, who knows. He's so desperate to say something that he pointed out how ridiculous it is that they got a younger man in John Leguizamo to play the old character that he plays in the Odyssey. Like, why didn't they just get an actual old man?
What? He's like 60 something.
John Leguizamo is old now. Yeah.
66. I had no fucking idea, but like he looks great for they had to.
He does look great. Yeah. He's a handsome man.
But like, so then you end up with Angry Joe and all these other people calling him out, and it's fucking hilarious.
That makes me so happy.
So he had said something here, and then Drinker replied saying it's funny watching fat and bitter artards like Joe here, so desperate for a win in endless ocean of losses. Like, who are you talking about, dude? That's straight up you. Yeah.
Oh, I love that picture that they changed.
Bottle.
To
They put a bottle.
I'm gonna put that in the server, in the Shieldcast server, so everybody has that for sure.
I think it's AI, but
I know, but look, I didn't make it, so it's out there. I might
it's
use
out
it.
there. You can share it. It's
It's
fine.
not as good as the one I did make. That's the silhouette of him holding up a goddamn bullhorn, which for the Drinker's Message series we did. You know. And then one version of that, I have liquid shit flying out of the end of the bullhorn.
Oh my god.
Yep.
The pure. You know what my favorite part of the Odyssey thing is, as far as the Cope Fest goes, that Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro are fighting.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy.
The last time
it might be kayfabe.
The last time that Ben Shapiro fought, it might be, yeah, actually. The last time he did have a real fight with a employee, she left.
She left and became Candace Owens.
Yep.
And the other one too, the one who looks like him. Brett.
Yeah, his Ben
She
23
got bigger than them too.
Yeah, she got really big. Yeah, Ben 23 got really big. I don't know her actual name, but
Ben 23, like X23. I didn't
like that one, did you?
We have to fucking put a stop to that project, man. They can't let them keep doing this stuff.
Weapon Ben.
Ben 23.
I've been saving that one for a while, Dane.
She's really actually cooler than Wolverine because, you know,
I mean, she is
cooler than Ben Shapiro.
It's a low bar.
Yeah. Well, that's fun. Hey, you guys. You're all sexy people, every single one of you, in your mind and in your heart. Okay.
Likewise.
But also your butt. So,
hey, now.
Yep.
My butt's spoken for.
I'm not saying it to anybody is specific, so I'm just generally saying everybody has a really great ass, and I think that's okay. I think I can say that.
Well, Dane, I think you might be a pirate because your butt's 7 C's thick.
I thought you were going to go like somewhere with booty on that. I thought that's where you're going. So
your booty is 7 C's thick.
Subverted me. Good
What
job.
do you call pirate treasure? Well, I
Okay.
believe it's booty.
Okay, Bobston.
Well, so
Professor.
by the way, I want to watch this short again just because I think this is something I've said for years about cancel culture, and it's really awesome to see somebody that actually has experienced or was offered the experience of this to say it. For the record, Channel 5, Andrew Callahan was quote unquote canceled a few years ago for he was being a bit Weasley with he did not I looked into it, Jen looked into it. As far as I can tell, I have not seen anything that he sexually assaulted anybody. What he was doing was being kind of gross with like, oh, I'm Andrew Callahan from Channel 5. You should let me stay at your place tonight. And
Yeah, he was being a sex pest.
yeah.
Oh,
and
gross.
he was coming out like his video where he talked about this is pretty much the standard for what you would want to see from somebody that done some shit like this. And yeah, so I feel like there needs to be a avenue for rehabilitation at some, and so I feel like he's done the work.
He's putting some time.
Yeah, but this is just pretty compelling to learn about.
In your own belief system to maybe rebrand as like a anti-cancel culture guy.
Fuck no, hell no, bro. No, dude, that's like the worst thing you can do. No, but like real shit, and I've never said this on a podcast. Well, 1 week after getting canceled, I got a job offer from InfoWars.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, it's funny, like people always say,
good thing you didn't take it. They're not doing so well now.
Right? But people always say, like, when you get canceled, like your career's over. No, it's the opportunity to begin a second career in like that sort of like free speech warrior space with like Russell Brand in them.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that because I'm not aligned with them in the way they talk and think about things.
That actually reminds me real quick. There's another thing that he's seems to be a thing that he does where he's gotten close enough into these established systems of things to where he can, get a taste of it. And then just instead of like becoming part of it, he tends to just go, here's what's going on in that fucking scenario.
Right.
Another one where he had a film, documentary that he was coming out on HBO. And so he was promoting that on CNN of all places. And he has told the story about what that experience was like, and that's also pretty fucking interesting. It's right here.
Long time ago, they had me scheduled to go on primetime CNN with Don Lemon and Caitlin Collins.
The movie's not just about like the Capitol riot and all that. It's also about like media echo chambers. You know what I mean? And like the dangers of the 24-hour news cycle, and how I think mainstream media like Fox and even CNN like competes for views by running constant 24-hour news cycles based upon fear, division, outrage, and panic.
And I signed an NDA, but I'm going to break it anyway. But they had to give me this weird media training session. And it was like these 16 people I'd never met before. More people on a Zoom call than I thought you could ever even have. I had to get Zoom Premium. All these people in suits, like going through point for point, being like, you need to tell, if they ask you about Trump, say this. If they ask you about revolution, say this. If they ask you about your background, say this. Don't reveal that you're arrested for graffiti. All this weird ass shit. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of strange. They had one cool guy who literally had a Kangol hat on. I guess they thought he would like get through to me. And he's like, yo, my man, so check this out. I know these people, these motherfuckers don't look cool to you, but they're cool, son. And I was like, all right, I don't know. I was like, whatever cabal you're a part of, it's freaking me out. But it was only an hour, but it was mandatory.
Yeah.
So they told me I was going to go on CNN, and Don Lemon was going to ask me about like my life and all this shit. And I get on, and he goes, what can you tell us about the mental state of Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio in the lead up to January 6th? I'm just like, what the kind of snitch question is this? Like I'd embedded myself in this men's group, the Proud Boys, for a long time, and I had still had those active relationships. Revealing any information could put my life in danger. I just wasn't ready for it. So I clapped back super hard, and I was like, actually, Don, the film is about how the mainstream media, including CNN, uses the cable news system to push partisan divisions that have led to events like January 6th by essentially pitting working class Americans against each other and pushing culture war over class war issues. And he was like, what the hell? They cut the segment short. It was never aired. No one ever saw this. I leave the studio, and I guess the CNN had a handler for me. Well, they technically work for A24. Like I said, this black box is all connected. And she's panicking. She's like looking at her phone on hers. I'm like, what's going on? And she was like, Time Warner C-Suite is furious. And I'm like, who is Time Warner C-Suite? And she said, you don't know that the same people that own HBO also own CNN?
Yeah.
And so they looked at it as like an in-house beef. And I was like, no. I was just projecting my opinion. And they were like, don't you remember the media training? You weren't supposed to do that. She was panicked. God. They canceled my press tour right then and there.
Wow.
Wow.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I am not surprised by any part of that story.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, no part of that is surprising.
And then I actually, if you guys have another couple minutes, there was one thing I just wanted to look at briefly.
For you, Dane? No.
Because it's about George Carlin, and it's about AI.
Oh yeah, this I need to get mad about. Yep. Okay.
So this is a video that just popped up shortly before stream started. So I was like, oh man, I want to watch this, but maybe I'll be able to share it a little bit about it anyway. Let's see. Video that this woman's doing, seems to be doing Lord's work here. It's a video called "How Did This Video Fool 3 Million People?"
Then after, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. So let's watch the clip.
So now a black woman plays Helen of Troy in a movie, and white people scream, historical accuracy! Accuracy? You painted over black Madonnas for 1,000 years, you fucking morons! You don't want accuracy, you want your comfortable life!
How could Alexander the Great be white if the Macedonians who were Greek were black? Could somebody explain that to me? I asked my friend Steve, he sells insurance. He said, I don't think about it.
Rome rearranged spells more! I didn't make this up, that's an anagram! The Romans didn't just have melanated emperors, the name itself is a confession. Rome was a black operation!
They won't make movies about the Moors, because if they did, white people would have no history to steal. They'd be exposed as the later rivals they are. So they give you crumbs. One black Cleopatra, one black gladiator. Never the full meal, because the truth would set you free.
It's pseudo just because you don't know it, that's fair. I don't know how airplanes work. But they still fly. You don't read about the Moors. You don't comprehend. You just talk. That's me at parties. Nobody invites me anymore.
If you think Greece was white, go read Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. It'll show you the black nobility of Europe. Or keep your mouth shut. One or the other. Preferably both. The Trojan War was Moorish. Memnon had braids. Fucking braids! And Helen was melanated, but every painting looks like a Scandinavian wedding.
Remember, Rome was founded by Etruscans and
Like Chris Farley wasn't even really known for stand-up, which is fucking bizarre. I don't understand the point of this. Maybe she explains it in the video. We're not going to watch it now, but like, I don't understand what the goal of this shit is. You know,
someone jerking themselves off saying they can make AI slop.
It must be, but I don't know if that's related to this whole thing.
Well, it's pushing the through line of all the jokes is Hotep stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's related to this, maybe not, but this is something I didn't even know about. George Carlin Estate settles lawsuit over AI generated comedy special. Settle lawsuit, agreeing to remove it from their YouTube channel and podcast feed. So this is January of 2025, I think. 2024. Okay. Wow. He died in 2008, but special featured a sound-alike voice doing Carlin-esque material on contemporary topics like trans rights and defunding the police. I don't think it really states whether or not he was for or pro those things in there, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't care if he was saying everything I agreed with. It still shouldn't happen.
No. Maybe
AI sucks, guys. I'm really like there's a big part of me that's just wanting to just make a fuck AI channel or something, just rail against AI constantly, and then also Peter Thiel and all the billionaires like all at once. Just it's all the same topic really at this point.
Yeah.
So anyway,
now I'm gonna. Well, we got something I got to be mad about. That's fun. Fuck all of that.
Yep. Well, on that note, there is one more thing I'm going to show on the way out. It's going to play before the stream actually officially ends. This is another Andrew Callahan thing where he talked about his experience with the Rogan Sphere and going to the comedy mothership, which is not doing so well, I hear.
Oh, good. I'm happy.
But thanks, everybody. This is about 2.5 minutes long, but we will be gone once I start this video. Peace and have a lovely week. And take care of yourselves. Wait,
catch you on the dark side.
That's the outro video, so I need to do that. And
see ya.
There you go. Bye.
Bye-bye.
One user asks, why haven't you been on the Joe Rogan Experience? Well, there could be two reasons for that. One, which is probably most likely, is that I'm not popular, famous, and influential enough to be on JRE. Two, could be related to a little green room spat that I had with Mr. Joe Rogan at his comedy club in Austin, Texas. So I'm not even a Joe Rogan hater, and I thought the mothership was actually pretty tight, especially how they lock your phones up in these magnetically sealed plastic sleeves when you enter the door. It definitely brings the anxiety levels down and makes it so comedians can push the envelope a bit more with their material, so it keeps comedy and experimentation alive without the fear of cancel culture. I was in Austin doing a couple different podcasts. The first podcast was Lex Friedman, and then the following day after that, I did the Matt and Shane Secret podcast. And unfortunately, Matt was out of town, but the homie Lemaire Lee, shout out to my boy, was there replacing Matt for that day. So that night after the podcast, Shane had a set at the Mothership Comedy Club. So he invited me, and in between sets, I'm chilling at the bar downstairs, and I'm getting like lightweight blown up by fans, which is fine. I love fans. It was chill, but I was kind of like in a more relaxed headspace. I wanted to just doze off, listen to comedy, chill. And so I told Lemaire, I'm like, yo, can I go upstairs to the green room? I'm trying to, kick back and, lay low for a bit. He's like, man, I could take you there, but just so you know, Joe Rogan's a bit territorial about that green room. Like, so it's at your own risk. And I'm like, dude, no way, it's going to be fine. Joe Rogan's reacted to like 7 of my videos because Jamie always plays them. So I'm like, it's going to be chill. So me and Lemaire take the elevator up to the secret green room at the Mothership. There's 5 comedians in there, all in their mid-20s. Everybody recognizes me except for Joe Rogan. So everybody's dapping me up. Lemaire says, hey, Joe, it's my homie Andrew. Shake Joe Rogan's hand. I put some popcorn in the microwave, which I felt like was establishing myself as a member of the green room. And then I turn around and I see Joe Rogan like yelling at the security guard. And he's yelling, who let this fucking journalist in here? Kick him the fuck out. I can hear Joe saying this. I guess somebody told him that I was like a journalist, so he maybe thought that I was a Daily Beast reporter that had snaked my way into his safe space to ask him about ivermectin, which is a valid concern. So before I could even get kicked out, I was like, Lemaire, I gotta get out of here. And I walked down the stairs and went back into general population. So that could be why. I'm not sure if Joe Rogan thinks I'm like an asshole who was like trying to make my way up there to be like, dude, please have me on the podcast, bro. I'm such a big fan. But in reality, I just wanted to lay low and kick back. So